Oh yeah, kids, it's the week of 420, and you know that we'll be celebrating it here on this show. We've got Jordan Page in the first hour, Daniel Louis Crumpton in the second hour. Sarge's going to be joining us as well. Tripp's rumored to be around. You never know who else is going to join in, because the Friday Night SuperShow starts right now.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
The Friday Night SuperShow.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going back.
You damn right. Tag team champs, bitches. The motherfucking Friday Night SuperShow. #1 in the world, baby. Hey, enough of the goddamn horse shit. Let's start the show.
Oh yeah, babies, you know what night it is, you know what time it is. The Friday Night SuperShow is back here on the Last Voice for Liberty Network. I am the mouth laughing and scratching at you, along with my tag team partner, my brother from another mother, man. There is no other Mr. Friday Night Dennis Ford. How in the hell is you tonight, brother?
Well, as always, Lee, I'm happy to be on the show. You know, it's always a good thing to be on the show, because, you know, this is a therapy session for both of us, you know, especially with my situation and things that are going on with me. I know you have things going on. Everybody I talk to, man, has some shit going on.
You know, it's like everything's crazy.
Yeah, everything is it's all over the place. But, yeah, being a part of the show on Friday night, you know what I'm saying, I look forward to it every Friday. Like I said, I wanted to be happy about being on the show here tonight, because, like I said, there's shit going on in life, my own personal life, that I'm not going to get into here right now, but you already know about it, and people know what's kind of going on. But
that's for sure.
Like I said, I need the show. You know, I need it for us.
We got a big show here tonight as well, man. We got Jordan Page going to be joining us here in just a few minutes. Daniel Louis Crumpton is going to be joining us as well in the second hour. Sarge is going to be around. You know, it's room for everybody. You know, I hope that everybody that wants to call in and join the show can wait along until like the second hour. We can start being able to get the calls in. We had the audio problems that we've been having recently with Skype, because Skype's a pain in the fucking ass. Then, you know, we can get you all in, but I'd like to keep the lines clear for Jordan, because we're only going to get a small amount of time with him, and he's got a lot of information to get across with the whole CannaSense campaign. I implore you people to look into it, because it looks promising. But, you know, I want to hear Jordan's pitch on it, because, you know, he knows it a little bit better than what I'm seeing. And you know, I really want to recommend it for, you know, a friend. I want to see what what we can do for him, because, you know, as you all know, and I've never said this publicly, but I'm going to anyway, because, you know, fuck him, now it's too late. You don't have any control over this, buddy. But my good friend Josh Wright, old a.k.a. McFly, has been diagnosed with some very serious cancers throughout his body. And, you know, I set up that GoFundMe thing for him, and everybody that's, you know, donated. God bless you all, man. I love you to death. It means the world that you would open your wallets to help out this family here, because, you know, they really need it. and he's not got a lot of good news here recently from the doctors, and so, not a lot of time here left, and anything that you can do to help out, check out that GoFundMe thing. If you need help finding it, let me know.
Right on. And to segue kind of into, Jordan joining us here tonight, yeah, it was 420 recently. I'm sure people, stoner national holiday, saying, I hate to call people stoners, but that's the stigma around it. But essentially, right now in 2017, and in the past few years, we've seen an explosion of medical marijuana and states legalizing marijuana and, positive things that are coming out of this. But, again, like I told you before the show, Big Pharma and even the alcohol industry, I read a report a couple weeks ago that the alcohol industry is fighting to keep marijuana illegal and other things. And, you would, like I said, in 2017, you would think by now that we could really get to the core of what is going on with the benefits, the medical aspects of marijuana here in this country, because whether people recognize it or not, here, the lie that we've been told, the reefer madness bullshit, the DARE program, the gateway drug, that people aren't buying that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? People are, this whole lie is eroding, and it's...
No, it was CBS News yesterday on 420 that actually reported that 61% of people polled think that it should just be legalized. It's the whole stigmata of weed being bad is really starting to die off, as the older generation who was initially brainwashed with that whole reefer madness shit is starting to, well, for lack of a better term, die the fuck off. We've got now the younger generation that's been messing with it and figured this stuff out. We've got Jordan Page joining us here, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan, do we have you there, buddy? Hello, Jordan.
Well, we'll work that out. We'll definitely. Technical difficulties in the show.
Do we have Jordan Page here? My Skype is saying that I do, but I'm not getting any audio.
You might have to do what you do, when that happens. You know what to do.
Jordan, do we have you?
But either way, I went. Yeah, we got to get that worked out.
Well, I'm not getting any audio. They said that he was trying a video call, but I can't. I don't know why it's not bringing up a video call. This is what the problems that you have with Skype, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and call Jordan back here in just a second, ladies and gentlemen, because,
I just want to point out something to the listeners. If you're not familiar with Jordan Page, he's music, awesome person. Probably it's a list of people that we've had on the show in the past, and Jordan is in the top part of that list because we've had him on a few times, and every time he's been on, it's just good radio, good guest. Jordan's a good dude, and like I said, hopefully we can get him here in the show for as long as he can join us because. It's been a while, ladies.
Jordan, do we have you here?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
There, we've got him, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only Jordan Page. How you doing there, bud?
I'm doing good, buddy. I've had a busy couple of days since 420.
Oh yeah, I reckon so. This new, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to start off with acknowledging Jordan's great music, and we're going to be playing some here later on in the show. You've already established yourself as a great outspoken musician and songwriter, man, and now you ventured into the CannaSense venture, which I was actually reading up a lot on before the show, and I'd like you to get that out there because what I was reading, I think a lot of people are unaware of, and I'd really like you to get that out there.
Sure. Well, Okay, so as you said, like I've been doing music for a long time. It's been my lifelong passion and my career as an adult. Around 2006, I started delving into more political music, and was just, I felt spiritually led and compelled to write songs about things that I cared about, that were happening in the world, that were bothering me. And so you're right. People know me as more of a political songwriter. I take on issues that I care about, that are important to me, that I think need to be addressed. Well, cannabis freedom was not really on my radar that much. I'm not what you would consider a recreational user. I used to be years ago, but I let it go just as a personal choice, because I was abusing the plant. I didn't understand the plant. I had no idea what cannabis actually is, respect for it, or discipline with it, and I had a completely wrong idea about it. As most people who are against cannabis, you generally have the wrong idea about it and or are uneducated. And I fit the profile of that kind of person back then. So a couple of years ago, a friend of mine, her name's Carrie Accardi, she's a cannabis freedom activist, she started educating me on the endogenous cannabinoid system, that every human being on Earth has a built-in system that has been largely ignored by the medical community, and that it is the key to health, and is the key to killing and fighting against cancer and autoimmune disorders, inflammatory disorders, chronic pain, anxiety, depression, PTSD, you name it. Cannabis has some role to play. And what she taught me really blew my mind and caused me to do my own research. And I'm also known as a spiritual guy. I'm a Christian, and I believe that God leads me on a journey through this life. And I felt like it was all coming to a head this past summer, because I got a call from a farmer, a pot farmer in Northern California, a medical cannabis farmer, organic cannabis, Desert King Mountain Seed Company. That he was the guy that owns it is a fan of my music and activism, and he had named a strain after me. He had taken two strains called Liberty Haze and Kaboom, and had put them together and made a new breed, a new strain, and had called it Jordan Page. So Liberty Haze plus Kaboom apparently equals Jordan Page, which I loved. It was like the greatest day of my life. And then awesome. I was invited to come and perform at the Hemp Fest up in Lancaster, New Hampshire. I gave a speech on prohibition. We went over like gangbusters. A week later, I talked to Neil Schloss of CannaSense, a good friend of mine, cannabis activist, tax freedom activist, and he had started CannaSense and told me all about it. By the time the conversation was over, I was sold. I was signed up. I couldn't believe this organization exists, and I jumped right in, head first, because it was so amazing. And now I'm the public relations director for the company, and we're helping patients all over the country get legal access to cannabis.
Now this is number one. It's absolutely great. In my eyes, what you guys are doing, it's a positive movement, and then like we talked about before you called in, CBS News reported yesterday on 4/20 that 61% of Americans think that the entire thing should be legalized. Period. And they were taking polls all over the place yesterday, from local news to national news, and you guys offering this 50 states. Now, a lot of us in the states that they don't allow medical or recreational or any of that, we get a bit skeptical when we hear that, Jordan. And I'd like you, if you could, to explain just how is that legally possible. I mean, through the Federal Postal Service or any other type of shipping service. Could you explain that to the listeners?
I'd be happy to. So let's start with the skepticism, because it's well-founded, and I had it too until I became educated on the law. A lack of education has always been this country's biggest problem, because an uneducated populace, they just allow themselves to become slaves. They forget their history. They don't have the knowledge or self-reliance to have any kind of auto-determination. We're all led down the path of slaughter. So we really have to educate ourselves on the law. So how this basically works Compassionate Use Act is a California law that was passed in 1996. It says that anyone, not just California residents, anyone can become a member of a medical cannabis collective with the recommendation of a California physician. So along comes Obamacare and the Obama presidency after 2008, and that created provisions for telemedicine, which has become a staple of the American medical establishment and worldwide. It's a technology that you can use the internet and teleconference video call type programs like Skype or FaceTime to have video conference calls with your doctors and with medical professionals, and that is legally the same thing as physically going there and seeing them in person. Okay? So then we retrace our steps back to the Constitution, which is where we should be tracing our steps to when we're going to fight law with law. Then we go to the Constitution, and Article 4, Section 1 is known as the Reciprocity Clause, and it says that all states have good faith and credit as to their laws, acts, judicial proceedings, and that in every other state. And so even if that state's laws are different, the state still has to honor the Compassionate Use Act. Let's pick one, for example, like Texas, okay? Texas is one of the worst in the country for cannabis, but people in Texas are still smoking cannabis, so the laws aren't deterring people from smoking, but the penalties are steep. So if you're in Texas and you're buying it on the street, you're exposing yourself to arrest, you're exposing yourself to all kinds of elements you may not want to expose yourself to, and you have no legally defensible position, and you're on your own if you get busted. Well then, if you join under Article 4, Section 1, and under the Compassionate Use Act, you're a verified California patient, not a Texas patient. You're a California patient, and you are protected under those provisions and under the protection of Article 4, Section 1. That Texas doesn't have to honor the Compassionate Use Act in mass in general, but it has to honor it for you because you are under its guidelines. You are under its protection. You're a verified patient in compliance with the Act. Now, there's more to this legal argument than just these three pieces of legislation: the Compassionate Use Act, Obamacare, and and Article 4, Section 1. The biggest problem people have with this is that we ship it to their home. Well, I mean, actually, that's one of the big things that they love the most about it. But naysayers and skeptics look at us like, you're crazy, you're shipping it across state lines, you're shipping it to people's homes, people are going to get in trouble. Let me tell you something. In two years, not one person in our program, and we just broke 1,000 members yesterday, okay? Not one person has ever gotten in any legal trouble. But if they did, I'm going to circle back to how we do it, but I'm going to follow this train of thought. If they ever did have any legal repercussions as a result of their membership, if they're a verified patient in our program under the law, and they are unjustly and falsely arrested for using their medicine to heal themselves, the CannaSense Foundation, which is a whole other organization we created in tandem with CannaSense, the CannaSense Foundation will swoop in and physically fund your defense team. If you're a patient with CannaSense that you are charged with or harassed or whatever, we will actually pay for your lawyer and your entire legal defense ourselves. You won't have to pay a dime. So it's kind of like having some legal insurance. If you get up, we should be your first call. Okay? So getting back to how we do it, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3 of the Constitution is what we know as the Commerce Clause. Mm-hmm. And it says that Congress has the right to regulate commerce between the United States and foreign nations, between the several states and the Indian tribes. But what does that actually mean? The words in laws mean everything. The interpretation of laws, the original interpretation of laws can change the outcome of Supreme Court cases. It really means a lot. Mm-hmm. So the word regulate, according to definitions commonly known at the time of the writing of the Constitution, meant to make regular or to promote or to create an environment conducive for commerce, not to stand in the way of or control or stifle or inhibit. That's what the government has taught us to understand the word regulate means. That's not what it means at all.
That's right.
It means to create an environment where commerce is possible and to encourage the free flowing of commerce. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does.
Absolutely.
I did a whole series on the Constitution years ago, man. I absolutely do.
I'm preaching to the choir. I guess that I'm asking a rhetorical question of your audience. You guys already get it. But so that's one piece. But another piece that's really important too is the Ninth Amendment, because the Constitution itself is a list of enumerated powers that were granted to the federal government. Now, of course, they take powers all the time they don't have. But the list of enumerated powers or listed powers is what they are legally allowed to do and to have. Now, the Bill of Rights is a list of rights that people have. It's an enumerated list, but by no means is it a complete list of all human rights. And the Ninth Amendment guarantees that those rights not enumerated in the Constitution are still guaranteed. And one right that any person of rational thought can get behind is the idea that you have the right to heal yourself if you're sick and procure medicine for that end, which cannabis is a medicine. The government cannot argue that it's not medicine when it holds the patent on medicinal cannabis. Okay? So
exactly.
The science is behind us. More and more doctors, pharmacologists, biologists, scientists of all disciplines are coming out with their own studies that are proving this is a medicine. We have a cannabinoid system. We are producing cannabinoids on our own. Many of these diseases we see today are autoimmune disorders, inflammatory disorders like fibromyalgia. These types of disorders never used to be around. They used to be extremely rare. Now they're commonplace. And there may be lots of reasons for that.
Jordan, I just want to point out, my mother actually had fibromyalgia, and she was struggling. I wish I would have known what I know now if she was still alive, because she was battling diabetes, multiple different things, and that's in the food industry and multiple different other things. But yeah, I'm hoping that people out there listening, I just want to point this out, anybody out there listening, you're breaking it down in a way that they can easily understand it, Jordan. So thank you for doing all the things that you're doing with this. And if anybody, if anybody's listening, if you're interested, definitely look into this. And it can help people. It's not the end of the world when you get diagnosed with something. I actually have a friend of mine that lives in I forgot exactly where she's located, what state, but her son has autism, and she's been using the oil, just the CBD oil, in her situation, and it's helped her immensely. Like, her son is improving all the time. So you're absolutely right. I mean, we're seeing breakthroughs, and we've been lied to, but it's my point. You know what I'm saying? We've been lied to so long about this.
Yeah, 100% right, man. We've been lied to since the 1930s about this plant by some pretty nefarious individuals, and their shenanigans have put millions of people in cages with dangerous people, and has waged a war on the poor of this country, and have demonized the plant that God made to heal us. We have been lied to, and in the vacuum that cannabis left, the pharmaceutical industrial complex and the prison industrial complex, both trillion-dollar industries, rose up out of the vacuum that cannabis left. And so we have some. There's a few people out there that have probably long since passed from this earth that have a lot to answer for what they did, banning this sacred herb from God's people. I mean, it really is become a mission of mine to educate people on how they've been lied to, how it began, where it started, so they can understand the motivations behind why this would happen. And really, like, we all have our own prejudices, we all have our own preconceived notions about things, but sometimes we don't even question where they come from. It's just part of who we are because what we were taught since we were kids. But if you can trace back the origin of your belief and find out that the origin of it was a lie, that can really reshape you as a person, and that's happening with cannabis throughout our culture.
Yeah, it starts to lead down that path to where you start to question other things. I mean, really, once you start to look at what the ridiculous lie that cannabis, the stigmata that cannabis has nowadays, or used to have, I'm going to say, because apparently a majority of Americans are turning their heads and going, "Come on, dude, I'm calling bullshit." You can't tell me that this stuff is bad anymore. It really isn't. Nobody's died.
Well, let me point out a fact too. Again, when my parents were growing up in this, I guess, you know, they were teenagers in the 60s and 70s, whatever. The marijuana that's on the market and being distributed now is way more stronger than it was back then. So people, you know, my parents, I had to explain that to them because back when I was growing up, we used to call it kind bud. I don't know if you guys remember that. But
yeah, absolutely.
Now the weed the medical weed that's going around, like whenever I would buy weed on the street recently in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, there's no seeds in it. You know, I remember when I was in high school, I had to pick out seeds for like 30 minutes out of the weed. But,
that's because of the proprietorship and the attitude of cannabis being turned away. It starts to make, especially law enforcement officers in some districts around this country, man, they start to just turn away. You know, what's that one in Maryland that said, you know, we're not even bothering with these people anymore. Good, yeah, who cares if they're smoking weed? It's not killing anybody, you know. But you know that attitude turn, man. It really starts to make a difference, dude. I mean, it does. When you start to give actual evidence, you know, like the CannaSense company here is really doing, and then using their actual written laws against them, which is quite easy because they violate their own laws all the time. They write them, so many of them. You know, then the public attitude really starts to look at it going, hey, maybe they're blowing smoke up my keister about this. What else are they going to be lying to us about? And I think that this is really a tipping point in our country's history where, you know, this medicine, this God-given plant, ladies and gentlemen, could actually even change the world, man. I mean, maybe I'm just a hopeful, wistful, unicorn shake drinking, SOB.
I just want to point this out. Why would they suppress this plant all this time and then be like, you know, they should be held accountable for this too. That should be something that we might look into later on. Because all the people that have passed on and the people that could have been possibly cured. We were talking about chemo before we even went on the show. You know, I was watching a commercial. It was like a cancer treatment facility of America or whatever. And they were like, we have the best chemo in the United States. We have the best doctors. But essentially, you know, maybe they should be looking into cannabis. Because there are benefits to when it comes to multiple.
There are even,
and we already covered this.
Yeah, there are even oncologists here in Iowa that are recommending it where it is not legal for anything. Which brings me back to Jordan. You know, with the CannaSense program and the legalities, now you're offering legal defense with the CannaSense Foundation, which you mentioned, you know, for anybody that has any type of legal issues with this, and you know, that's quite commendable. It's almost like having, you know, hey, here, we got your back type of guarantee.
You have to have that.
You know, and I like how that's going. Yeah, but the question that I have is when. Now these things always come with a price tag on it, man. And we've done interviews and talked with other companies that have been offering CBD oils. Crystal Pure CBD was a sponsor here on this network for a while.
Awesome product.
It is, and it's available all over the world. And these claims have been made, and so many skeptics keep saying that, you know, well, I can't get it here. I don't want to risk getting it here. Is this product, or is this price tag a bit too steep? I mean, some say it is. Some would look at that and go, damn, dude, you know, what am I doing? And others, you know, like myself, would take a look at it and go, well, you know, if this program can really benefit a friend of mine, then, you know, maybe that's not too steep. Let's get into the.
Let's hash it out. Let me explain it all for you. Because a lot of people read the website don't necessarily. It seems to me like not everybody is actually reading what's actually written there. They're glancing and then they're making snap judgments. And I've been talking to a lot of patients who had it wrong. So.
Well, that's why I want to get this covered.
We actually have the most inexpensive, cheapest way of getting access to legal cannabis anywhere. Okay, through our program, any person in the United States can get the doctor's appointment, the medical card, the shipping of the card, and the recommendation for $65. $65, and you're in. Like, there are states where you're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars, having to convince multiple doctors you can only have one type of illness, or one of 6 types of illnesses in some states, in order to qualify. It's a demoralizing process where you're begging the state for permission to have your medicine, okay? You don't go through anything like that with us. You see a board-certified California physician for $65. That goes to the doctors. That's how they make their money in this relationship. To sign up as a patient with CannaSense is free. It's zero, literally zero. You automatically become a patient. You automatically get access, and then you have access to the store, and you can place orders. Now, if you're going to compare our like the prices of our flowers to street prices, just don't even do it, because they're not comparable. Street prices are definitely going to outperform the price anyway of what we do. But on the street, you have no legally defensible position. You have no legal ground to stand on if you ever get in trouble. And if you get in trouble, you're completely on your own. You don't know. You hardly ever know what it is that you're buying, what strain it is, what its lineage is, the genetics of it, what the potency is. You don't know if it was grown with pesticides or heavy metals, or you have no idea where it came from. You have no connection to the plant and the specific medicine that it is. It varies. Maybe in very few instances, some people who take it really seriously do, but in the vast majority of cases, I would say people don't know exactly what they're buying. Where with us, you're getting it directly from the farmers. You know the parent lineage. You know everything about it. It's high quality flowers, and I have lots of other products too.
Yeah, you do.
But, if the street price is undercutting us by $100 an ounce, but for that extra $100 that you're saving, you're putting yourself out there, risking yourself getting arrested doing it. Is it worth it? You know? For members,
it's really only $75 an ounce.
It's $400 an ounce for patients. Patients are not paying a fee to sign up. It's free. So they can buy small quantities and not spend a lot of money and just order every once in a while, and that's great. And they never have to become members. The membership is optional, but the membership comes with a lot of stuff. So the membership is $420. For the $420 membership, you get a month's supply of bud. You get an ounce of bud. Now, some people who listen might be laughing and saying, "I go through an ounce of bud in 3 days," and I do know people who do in 3 days.
I know them too.
Okay, but in general, you're going to get either a full ounce of one strain, or 4/4 ounces of 4 strains, or you can do a customizable kit and get $300 worth of anything we have in the store. You can make a crazy welcome kit that just suits your taste to try everything. And then once you get the welcome kit, you get a lifetime discount in the store. It's up to 30% per item. It's not something that you have to renew. It's something you never have to renew. It's a one-time fee, and it's a lifetime discount. And on top of that, you also get access to our caregiver program, which says that you can sponsor other patients and members and make referral commissions when they buy welcome kits, which is a very lucrative proposition just in itself. And you can make product purchase commissions for what they buy. So every person that joins our program can join for next to nothing. In fact, caregivers do join for nothing. Caregivers don't pay anything at all. And they can actually buy a membership just by sponsoring a handful of people and making commissions off of that, and then they can buy the membership with that. I did not invest one dime in this company. I started as a caregiver, and now I'm a full member and the freaking PR director for the company. And I didn't invest one dime in it.
I was going to say, Jordan, we talked about this off air, off the show, and like I said, I wanted to definitely give you the opportunity here to get this information out to people. And again, thank you, Jordan, for everything you're doing. And that's what I said. I want to return the favor and just give you an opportunity to let people out there, anybody that's listening to the show or any of that, I definitely want to send them your way so it can benefit you and help you out as well and help this cause, because it's an amazing thing, and it's something I was telling Lee about it last week, and like I said, Lee's just now getting into just like me, you know what I'm saying? We're just now getting into looking into it and researching it. But it seems like it's all, you know, everything's what you said it is.
And you know, I had when I posted the promo this morning for the show with the CannaSense logo on there, I had a few people, you know, sending me messages going, make sure that you're asking them about this, because a lot of the people that have been talking about this haven't been quite so clear. And so, you know, I was like, I'll tell you this. I know one thing about Jordan Page is he's a stand-up guy. So if I'm going to get somebody on the show to talk about something, he's going to give you the straight people, you know. So
I appreciate that, guys. I mean, that means a lot. And, you know, for me, this is another form of activism, trying to help people get what they need and get them a legally defensible position to stand on, and we take care of the patients from the beginning to the end. You know, I mean, we couldn't do it otherwise. It wouldn't make sense to do what we're doing without offering the protection that we offer. Like, it's part of being part of this. Anybody that has questions about this or wants to get involved, send me an email at jpage@cannasense.com. The letter J for Jordan, Page, like page in a book, at CannaSense.com. And I'll answer your questions. Go to the website, see what's up. Become a member page, has detailed instructions for signing up. It's the easiest thing in the world. Just you just follow the directions and you'll get there. And I'm here to answer people's questions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jordan, for everything you're doing. Also, I want to point this out, Jordan, to you, because it's been a while since we had you on. I know we usually, in the past, would talk about your music and what you've been up to. We might get into that before we get out of here, but or let you go. But again, man, top 5 guests that we've ever had are you, Jordan. Like, you're one of my favorite guests. I can't speak for Lee here, but I definitely know the shows that we've done with you have been absolutely incredible. So I want to thank you, Jordan, again, for everything you do.
Well, thank you guys very much for all that you do, and thanks for continuing to educate people and lift people up with information, and for, you know, having me back on to spread the message of this too, you know.
Well, that's a great thing, Jordan. You gave out
the. You didn't contact me about it, Jordan. But yeah, go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
You gave out your email address so people can personally get a hold of you to ask more about that. What's the website that people can check out for this CannaSense? Because I found it pretty educational myself. While I was reading through it, I mean, you got to become a member or a patient to see certain things, you know, in the store, and I was looking at the products, of course, because, you know, I'm interested in all aspects of this. I'm really trying to do a bunch of research for my friend on here. But, you know, let's hit the website for them real quick before we let you get out of here. I know you've got things to do. It sounds like the youngins are rallying there, so.
They're getting restless over here. The show I put on for them isn't cutting it. The website is CannaSense.com. I would tell people to go to CannaSense.com/education and read what's written there. That explains the entire situation. Then go over to the Become a Member page and read what's written there. It explains everything. You know, you can have fun at the store, seeing what we've got to offer. I will tell people, since 3 days ago, we had such a huge influx. A lot of things are getting sold out, and we're getting more in, but we're also bringing new vendors in, and we're going to have a whole freaking cornucopia of things that we haven't had before. Lollipops, hard candies, gummy bears, fruit bars, anything you can think of, we're going to have. And the store is expanding, this company is expanding, and, you know, our understanding is expanding. And thanks, not in any small part, to this amazing plant. So anybody, you know, wants to get a hold of me again, it's jpage@CannaSense.com, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, Jordan, like you said earlier, real quick before you get out of here, just approaching 1,000 patients or members is amazing. Again, for a 2-year program that's only been operating for that long, that's incredible, and it's something I'm glad you told me about, Jordan. It's something I wouldn't have known about if you hadn't contacted me. I've seen your post about it, but you know, I'm battling with my own things, and thank you for reaching out and letting me know about it. And like I said, I just want to return the favor and give you the opportunity here tonight to let people know about it. And I know you're doing a lot of press, and keep doing that, Jordan. Keep letting people know about this, okay? If you can do that for me.
Will do, brothers. And I will do it. Thanks for having me on the show. God bless y'all, and I'll be talking to you real soon.
You know, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Page. You can also check out Jordan's music at jordanpagemusic.com. He's a great musician as well. And say hello to the little Pages there, man. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, thank you guys. Have a great night.
You too, man. sounds like he's gonna have a great night, man. Nothing's better than spending the night with your kids, man, when you can. If you want to check out the CannaSense that we were just talking about, the CannaSense /education, I just put that in the comments of tonight's promo. So check that out, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a fairly informative show. I really kind of am buying into this CannaSense thing. And it's not because I've had 6 beers, because you know that ain't nothing.
No, I like it because not everybody can jump up and, we have parents all over. I meant to bring this up when Jordan was on the air. I didn't get to this, but we have parents that jump up and pack everything up just to move to Colorado or Seattle or any of these states where, it's legal or recreational, whatever. And they're doing it because they have somebody in their family or a child. And we have mutual friends that have done this as well, Lee, that have jumped up and just threw everything in the car and went to do this because they see the potential in this plant. So this program, always being around as long as it has, and to see how it's expanding and growing, it's something, somebody was like, hey, somebody came up with the idea. It was like, we got to look into this. Let's fill the void because people need this medicine. And to me, I'm liking it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to give Jordan an opportunity to come on. If anybody can explain it, trust me, Jordan Page is the one that's going to be able to explain it to you. Very, very, he wouldn't even be involved if he didn't see the potential in it and believe that, it's helping people. And it is another form of activism because it is the truth. If you really want to get to the core of it, it is the truth and it is helping people. And you don't have to run out of your state. And actually, you maybe, it's going to cost you more to do that than to enroll in the program. So, yeah, definitely look into it. Anybody out there listening, if you have anybody in your family, or I'm looking into it myself because I have my own things going on, but it has the potential to help a lot of people. And, I'm always backing something like that. You can talk all the shit you want about weed and how, your ideas of what it is and all that, but, like I said earlier, this is all ruined. We all know that this is bullshit by the government, and that's why it's still a Schedule I drug, according to them, right? Which is a whole other show. But, like you said, Lee, I wanted to share this with you and share it with the listeners and give Jordan an opportunity to come on and explain a little bit better than I could or you could. And, again, Jordan does music as well. He's multi-talented. He has amazing music. He does tour and do things and concerts and speeches, like he said.
Yep. And
that's amazing. I wish a lot more people were involved as much as Jordan Page is. But again, like I said earlier, one of the guests that has always been on the show that has always, if I know Jordan's going to be it, that's why I was, this is between us, Lee. But booking a guest, we both had issues this week trying to get Jordan hammered in stone to be on the show. But I did everything I could to make this happen because, it's very important. And to me, I respect Jordan Page, and I respect what he does. And,
exactly.
Man.
That was like I said on the air just a few minutes ago, kids. Hey, Jordan Page is a stand-up guy. If he's going to come out here and back this up and explain it to you, the listeners, as well as to me, even though I read up on it, hey, I believe him. Because he's like the Captain America of the activist movement. He's good for the sake of good. He really is. He's just a good fucking human being. Jordan's on a mission, man. And he's set out in his mind to, just like all of us, we set out something, and if you want to help people, if you want to educate people, and not being a dick about it, not being an asshole about it, just being like, if you need help, if you need somebody to explain this to you, please contact me. And he gave people information,
Also, he's on Facebook. I don't know if people, like I said, I found Jordan through his music a few years ago, through mutual friends or whatnot. But also, he's on Facebook. You can look up Jordan Page on Facebook. If anything, check out his music. Start there, and then if you're interested in the program, definitely look into it. Check out that email. Shoot him an email if you have any questions, or shoot him a message on Facebook or whatever you have to do. But definitely look into it if it's something that you're interested in. And like I said, it has the potential, Lee. It has a lot of potential to break down a lot of bullshit. Again, that we have to filter. We have to filter ourselves because the government, again, they want a certain way, and all that is changing. I always think about that song. The times are changing.
The times they are changing.
Yeah.
Come around, people.
They should not block you. They should not block anybody from receiving medicine. I watched a video the other day from another activist where she broke down a lot of myths in like 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I posted it earlier. But
yeah, I saw that.
Nobody has the right to tell you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lee. Nobody has the right to tell you if you're sick, how to approach that. Even your doctor, a lot of doctors in the United States of America are going to be, I'm looking out for my pharmaceutical buddies. And they told me in college that weed is not the way to go. They don't have the right to do that. If you want to expand your mind, that's one thing. Okay, if you're a recreational user, that's one thing. But trust me, there are people out here that are suffering that use this plant as medicine. And the government cannot deny that for much longer. And I want people to understand that. It's something that I set out to help people with and show people a different way, and that's kind of why we led into Jordan being on tonight. Not to mention it being 420 this week, so it all, everything's full circle when it comes to this. And we'll definitely get Jordan on again when he has some more time. He's doing a lot of press, a lot of shows.
And a lot of daddy work.
He was able to join us here tonight.
Yeah, so because he does have young ones, man, and God bless them, man. They're growing like weeds. I've seen for the past couple years that we've known of Jordan, and it's pretty interesting to watch everybody else's kids grow up. Shoot, I saw a lot of pictures of kids that I'm looking at going, is that the same kid that I knew 2 years ago? Good Christ.
Well,
they're becoming beasts, man.
No, you're right. It reminds me that, a lot of things are bigger than us. A lot of the activism and a lot of reaching out to people, it's bigger than Lee Pierce, it's bigger than Dennis Ford, it's bigger than Jordan Page. It's really bigger than all of us. But that we contribute to it, and we try to keep that going is essential. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. I want to be able to help people if I can. Now, government corruption and all these things is a whole other aspect of it. But,
it's always there.
We can break down the lines and we can let people know, like I said earlier, we've been lied to, like Jordan said, since even before that. We've been lied to about this plant, even before I was on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, something is there, you know what I'm saying? Something is there that the government knows, and they own patents on it, and, they're like, it reminds me of just a situation that we always come across when we talk about Big Pharma is there's no money in the cure, there's no money in healing somebody, there's only money in keeping you sick. And this is another thing. If you look at states that have legalized marijuana or they have dispensaries, whatever it may be, you'll see the painkillers, the opiate addiction will actually decline. And they don't like that, especially with their opium trade with Afghanistan that we talked about extensively. But they do not like that. So,
no, they don't.
Of course they're going to combat this plant, okay?
That cuts into their profit.
It's not just a plant. There's CBD oil, there's hemp, there's a lot of different things that could completely change the entire existence that we know as a planet. So of course they're going to fight this with everything they have. They're going to throw everything at it. So that has to change. And it's a damn shame, man. It's really sad, Lee, that we live in a world where just this one plant. When I was growing up, my mother, when she found out I was smoking weed, she was so upset. Like 15 13, 14, whenever I started smoking weed, experimenting. Again, back then I was getting the shittiest shit possible, the brick pack Mexican shit that comes over there and
Mexican dirt
tanks and shit. The shit's gasoline when you smell it, but that's beside the point. But like I said, even the stigma that my parents had when my mom was so distraught. She was like, "Oh Lord, why? Where did we go wrong?" And that's not, at the time I understand that, a parent is concerned.
Better than what my parents did. My parents was like, "Oh Lord, now you got to smoke us up." Damn it.
Dude, so my mom really couldn't be that mad. I was like, after a while, me and my dad, we smoked together and stuff. Anyway, like what I'm saying is, weed back then is not the weed that we have now. The weed that is in the market, even on street value. You know what I'm saying? If you buy some shit on street value, like Jordan said, you really don't know exactly what it is, but I can guarantee you it's way more THC level than what it was in the 90s when I was smoking weed.
Nowadays it's absolutely incredible, dude. And nowadays you get the extracts, you get the wax, or the shatter, whichever one you got. Dude, the wax is fucking awesome, dude. I'll tell you what.
Around with people baking brownies and.
I'll tell you what, kids. I got a couple grams of this great wax earlier last week. And I just kind of been sitting on it and chilling, and then I picked up a good half ounce of this grape train wreck, and this shit, oh my Christ, does it put you in Spicoli mode, dude? You fucking, aloha, Mr. Hand, or you fucking take a half a bowl of that fucking train wreck, and then you put a little fucking bit of wax in the middle of it, and thanks to Ted for pointing this out to me earlier this week, because I'd never even contemplated thinking about treating it like hash, but throw a little bit up in there, and then throw a little bit more of the train wreck on top, and you smoke that, and you're fucking orbiting Saturn, man. I'm telling you what. And I was sitting there the other night going, holy crap.
Again, hash was like this rare thing that would come around. When I was growing up, you go see...
And who doesn't love hash? I mean, come on. Hash is great.
No, I'm saying hash was like this rare thing that would be around. Or it would be, some, like I said earlier, kind bud is what people used to call it, but it was like these little small buds, and they were really concentrated, compact buds, and they're on, as time went on, you talk to some, as a matter of fact, I was in, just being in the store, just being in the store, and somebody walks by, that they have some shit in their pocket because you can smell it before they even walk by you. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that shit when I was a teenager growing up. But, again, times are changing. The THC levels are rising. And again, if you don't like smoking weed, if you don't
have to
smoke it, you can take other avenues. There's other avenues to get this medicine.
There's
I was telling my mom this.
There's edibles.
All this, because I was trying to explain to her that potentially, there's medicine that you can take for multiple, even myself with anxiety and shit that I deal with, but, you don't have to smoke it. I mean, there's oil. Matter of fact,
there's oil, there's edibles.
Her husband with the crystal clear CD and all that, they actually sent me a sample pack of a vaporizer. The vaporizer, I know people don't really they don't really like the vaporizing shit, but it was just a new product that they were trying out, and he sent it to me, and I remember when I was using it, I actually have to get in contact with him to see if I can do some more, but at the time, tried it out, and even tried it out with my father, and I could see things going on, even though I was smoking regular flowers at the time as well. But this oil was helping me. It was helping with my anxiety, and it was calming me down, and a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, why would you take something if it's not going to get you? That's what a lot of people that smoke weed would say, was, I don't want to take that if it's not going to get me high, but if you can't eat or something else is going on, this is a potential, another avenue to go. And I was explaining this to my mother and family members, you don't have to get high. If you want to do that, that's on you. There are ways to get this medicine into your system to help you with what you are dealing with, from pain all the way down. I mean, this plan is amazing. And like I said, I don't understand why it's been so suppressed and demonized through the United States government. And if you look throughout the world, I mean, Amsterdam, different countries.
Because we've allowed it.
You know, it's a lot different.
We allowed it here in this country, man, by our own fucking sheer stupidity. You know, we sit there and act like we're the smartest country in the world. We're so bright and innovative, but yet we've let these hoodwink bamboozlers come across and go, you know what, that plant, it's bad. It's fucking bad, dude. You can't have it. You know, it's so bad. We're going to tell you that you can't have it. You know, how many people has that thing killed? How dangerous is it? Well, nobody, but no, you still can't have it. Wait, what?
From this drug that is in the same category with some other drugs that people have problems with. And like I said, they had an opportunity to vote on this. I think it was last year. The FDA or whoever it was, whatever agency or whoever the shit was, they had a vote on this, remember? Hey, let's take it to another schedule so we can possibly look at it as medical benefits. Well, somebody stepped in and was like, you know what, we'll pay you off just to keep it at Schedule 1, right? And that's a problem. That's a major problem that a lot of people don't really understand. And for me, you know what I'm saying, if there's potential for this plant to not necessarily cure something, but maybe help you cope with it better than Big Pharma giving you pills every month that cost more, that's going to cost you more in the long run, and not do shit for you. It's just a Band-Aid. You're just putting a Band-Aid on the shit.
That's for sure, man.
You know, here we go.
We gotta cut to break here, Dennis, man. I hate to cut you out because we are in such a row, but we got Daniel Louis Crumpton going to be joining us. Daniel's going to be joining us here coming up right break. The Sarge is going to be around as well. We're going to play a few tunes, take a little pause for the cause, ladies and gentlemen, because the Friday Night Super Show will be right
you got him
back.
Also,
This song's called Writing on the Wall. Is there anybody out here who feels the way I feel? Is there anybody listening at all? Are you waiting for an answer, a hero or a sign? Are you waiting for the writing on the wall? Now once more the end begins to come around. It's happening again. What will it take before you see this road is heading nowhere? But I won't go. I won't be taken before my time is through. And I know there's nothing easy about what we have to do.
again, but the words will last forever in a song. And it's one more time to turn around, one more chance to lay it down, one more line to stand our ground and say, it's been a long time, it's been a long time since we started down this road we know it well. And it's a long time, such a long time. How long will this go on? No one can tell. But I won't go down the road so dark no one can light the way. And I know that I can't go back to sleep or walk away, 'cause it's a long time, such a long time. Oh. Is there anybody out here who feels the way I feel? Is there anybody listening?
Hi, this is Jordan Page. In light of the recent events in Oregon, I just wrote a song that I want to share with you. This is called The Ballad of Lavoy Finicum. Subtext, Cowboys stand for freedom.
He was a man who loved to walk the land, turn his cheek but also take a stand. When his conviction called, he followed what he felt was right. Well, there's no telling just what time will bring. You can live for nothing or for everything, but when the pushes come to shove, and tell me, will you fight? I'm only talking about a cowboy stand for freedom. I'm just talking about a name carved in a stone, a friend and brother to anyone. He's riding off into the setting sun. Drive on, cowboy, he's heading home. Well, there's almost right and then there's nearly wrong, as you live your life from sunrise to dawn, and then it's over and the moment's gone. You can testify to things unseen, but the world is blind, can't see a thing. All you can do is try to be a human being. I'm only talking about a cowboy stand for freedom. I'm just talking about a name carved in a stone, a friend and brother to anyone. He's riding off into the setting sun. Drive on, cowboy, he's heading home. I know not what course of the the men may take. I can't see that far down the road. But as for me and mine, make no mistake, the weight of justice is a heavy load, and I'm living by code. He left his home to go and take a stand as voice rang out across the deafened land, and in the end it was a bullet that exposed the lies. A truth remembered is a battle won, though his murder cannot be undone. It rings out like an echo, thundering across the night. Here's to all the cowboys who stand for freedom. Why do we watch them from afar with hearts of stone? He's riding off to the setting sun, the thoughts of many from the voice of one. Well, drive on, cowboy, your work is done. Well, Godspeed, cowboy, we'll carry on. Why do we sit down when all should be standing? And why do we back down at the critical moment, like running away from the waves of the ocean? We head for the hills with the high tide approaching, as sand slips away from the castle. When it's time to stand upright, why do we falter, like placing our freedom on the sacrificial altar? We hold tight to our fears and defend our oppressors as we fight for their lives and become the transgressors, as pacifists transform to violent aggressors. But I'm only a stranger here. I'm a long, long way from my home, and they say I can't change all the things I find strange. For what can one man do alone? They say, what can one man do alone? When is the right time to stand up for freedom? Could it be when you start to feel creating children who'll inherit the pain and the debt of this nation and be slaves to the banks that cause hyperinflation, who are masters of commerce, lies, and bad legislation? Whoa, if you looked in the eyes of 1,000 young children through fences of razors, their innocence stolen as the red flag of tyranny flies in the open, is that when you finally notice? Whoa, whoa, but I'm only a stranger here. I'm a long, long way from my home, and they say I can't change all the things I find strange. For what can one man do alone? Is what can one man do alone? I'm only a stranger looking to find better nature in my fellow man, but they keep telling me it's a sin to be free, and that's more than I'm willing to stand. is given to censor your mind, as free speech is forbidden, as martyrs for peace from the world will be driven away by the sound of a bellowing thunder and choke on the blood of a dream going under. As arrogant men tear up our Constitution, and from every direction we cry revolution, standing together and without permission, soldiers for truth in the war of attrition, the love of our country as our ammunition. Oh, but I'm only a stranger here. I'm a long, long way from my home, and I'm going to change all the things I find strange, for I am not one man alone. Yes, I'm only a stranger. I'm a long, long way from my home, and I'm going to change all the things I find strange, for I know that I'm not alone. Yes, I know I'm not alone. Not alone.
So,
Oh yeah, babies, we are back live right here in the second hour, ladies and gentlemen. I am the mouth laughing and scratching at you, along with my tag team partner, Dennis Ford, Mr. Friday Night himself. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had Jordan Page on in the first hour. If you missed out, please check out this download, man, immediately following our live broadcast here, because we love to bring it to you live. We've got Louis Crumpton going to be joining us here shortly. The Sarge is supposed to be ringing in this hour as well. Anybody else who wants to join, you guys know the number, man. And if you don't know the number, then that means we don't like you. No, I'm just kidding. We've only got a guest line set up right now, ladies and gentlemen, not a public call-in number. But if you want to be a part of the show, you can get a hold of me, and maybe I'll let you in. It depends. You know, if I don't, then don't feel bad.
It's a secret society. You know what I'm saying? We're like the Freemasons. We gotta know who you are.
Well, we haven't turned the Friday Night SuperShow on this network public quite yet, because, quite frankly, that costs a whole lot of fucking money. Now, if you want to...
That's besides the point. I mean, we've done that in the past, Lee. I mean, again, we've been doing this for a while. We've been on multiple radio stations where call-in numbers are posted. If you're listening online, you can just call the number and press 1 if you want to get in the show. But this is a different platform, and, you know, it is what it is. If anybody's interested in calling in, the community of people that we know and we communicate with know that number. But if you're interested in finding out that number to join the show, contact me or leave here, and we'll definitely set you in the right direction so you can join us on the show. But that
won't. One or the other.
That being said, again, that first hour, that first segment that we had with Jordan Page, again, is what I appreciate about what we do, Leap Here, and that's what we bring to the table.
Exactly.
It's not every week that we fire on 100% or above 100%, but tonight, yeah, we're doing that, and that's what makes me happy. And again, like I said, before we even started the show, it is therapy to me. It helps me. It helps me cope with a lot of shit that I'm dealing with in my life, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And, yeah, we're going to be working on some future guests here in the next few weeks that I'll talk to you about. But, yeah, I mean, we try to bring something to people that they're not going to hear anywhere else. And also with, like I said, with the community of people that we work with, fellow radio show hosts, authors, people that make music, just activism in general, you have a home here on the Friday Night Super Show. You're more than welcome to join us. So please contact us and let us know, or we'll contact you. We'll take the first step.
Yeah. We'll stalk you like a motherfucker, man. We will hunt you down.
What we got to do.
and do funny things. No, we really enjoy getting the word out because it's not just our opinion that fucking matters, because, well, it kind of does, at least to me, because, hey, sorry, I ain't been wrong yet, neither is Dennis Ford. So it might behoove you to kind of pay attention to what we're talking about from time to time, but it's everybody else out there that's also fighting for this, man, and also trying to get the word out to other people. Say, look, man, we need to be a part of this. We need you normal people out there to hear this message, to learn what's going on with you. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you this, Lee, and you know this as well as I do. Again, we deal with our own shit. Everybody has problems. I understand that, financial, whatever it may be. But a good friend of mine named Ted Johnny has always told me never to give up. And, we have a lot of people that not necessarily look to us, but are definitely paying attention to what we're doing. It's very unique. It's like we were talking during the break to Daniel, you know what I'm saying? It's a very interesting time to be alive because we're on the front lines. It's not InfoWars or any of this shit, and we'll get into that later on when we're talking to Daniel, but...
Yep. Well, we've got Daniel right now. Daniel, are you there?
Always here, man. Where you been?
There he is. Man, I don't know, man. Wandering drunk through the hallways of life, man. Shit, it happens.
Just saying, we are. I just want to get this point out, and we'll let Daniel talk or whatever he has to say. But when it comes to the front line of activism, or waking up the sheeple, if you will, or breaking the mold or the lies, we are the front line. We are the people that do this because it needs to be done, in my opinion. And even if we're having a shitty day or we're having a shitty week, we still do this. And we try to bring everything we can to the table and let people know, this is how important it is, and it needs to be done, like I said. And I wish more people in society were doing this. But yeah, that's another show in itself. But Daniel, welcome to the show, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
discussion during the break.
Daniel Louis Crumpton from downloadedcontent.com. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been a guest on the Ocelli Effect. Glad to have him here on this network. He's actually been on several shows, man. A great guy, very knowledgeable. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, this is going to get very interesting.
Yeah, man. Dude, when we were talking during the break, I thought we were on air. I didn't shot my load. Sorry.
Me too.
No.
I'm running out of gas here. But yeah.
I was telling you guys during the break, it's a good joke. I don't want to waste it. I said, this CannaSense got me feeling like Oprah. You get cannabis, and you get cannabis, and everybody gets cannabis.
And not the way it should be, though,
Yes, you should.
Bill Hicks had a point. When he made that joke about it being mandatory, he had a real good point. And I've said this on, I don't know how, dude, since, Jordan, I came into CannaSense under Jordan. So I'm in his network, like I told you guys, he's a John the Baptist, and I'm, whatever, it doesn't matter, but we're both crisscrossing the country virtually through all these different radio shows, and we're trying to tell people about this thing because it's a perfect trifecta of freedom and liberty. He's a Ron Paul guy, I'm a Ron Paul guy. Ron Paul said, we all are. Yeah, Liberty people. So I'm not trying to say we're like a Ron Paul cult, but though I have posters and stuff.
No. I totally agree, dude. Ron Paul was the one that set me on the path towards anarchism. So
he changed things. Okay, he woke up a generation, and he's going to go down in history for doing that, not just in this country but the world. And so one of the things Ron Paul used to say that we were talking about was that if you're going to have a revolution, it's got to have music. Right? And Jordan Page is out there providing us with a soundtrack. He's providing a soundtrack for our movement. And so you got the embodiment of, I call it the perfect trifecta. Music, the Constitution, and cannabis, bro. Cannabis. Okay? And so, now I'm in Georgia. And so here in Georgia, they're not too friendly with cannabis. Okay? And as far as like the medical cannabis, that front is not, it's not going like I would want it to go, you know?
Right.
Now, I'm an ordained minister, and even if I wasn't, I would always use cannabis under the First Amendment as medicine and as a spiritual medicine, too. We could talk about that, because I believe it is, firmly. But it was hard for me to try to get people in the liberty movement to wrap their heads around how the First Amendment allows you to use cannabis. So I didn't make much headway here in Georgia with that. And so whenever I was approached by the people from CannaSense, you know, all of them, Liberty guys, Ron Paul guys, cannabis activists, right? Perfect. I knew that these guys were like me. They watched, you know, hours of documentaries about the law and, you know, legalities versus the law. They know their rights. They know Supreme Court rulings. And so it was just a matter of time before some people, you know, got to put their heads together and put this legal framework together. Okay?
Right.
Now, I love going through documents, legal documents, and looking for loopholes. Okay? I absolutely love it. And to me, when the pieces of legislation that Jordan calls the meat and potatoes of CannaSense, it really is the tip of a pyramid, the very tip, and you can't see the legal structure underneath that pyramid. Mm-hmm. But time is of the essence, right? Me and Clyde Lewis last night, we were talking about, right now we're in a foot race with Big Pharma, okay? And if there is any battle or race that we must run, it's the one regarding cannabis. We cannot let Monsanto and the governments get a hold of this sacred plant and bastardize it and restrict it and control it. I don't want cannabis legalized. Okay, I want it decriminalized.
There you go.
So
yeah, I understand that.
We have to get yards and yards and yards closer to the finish line over this before they come up with some freak strains to I can curse her.
Yeah, you can totally curse it.
Real quick. I just want to say, in its essence, I mean, the plants have been modified, but not by pharmaceutical industries. But that is on the horizon. But you know, Jordan was talking about, you know, a farmer in the first hour. He was talking about a farmer that mixed a strain and another strain and called it Jordan Page. So yeah, I'm just saying that is a possibility. But yeah, you do not want Monsanto or the Bayer Corporation or Big Pharma controlling this. So yeah, we definitely have to put our foot down when it comes on that front. And you know, I agree with that. I don't think a lot of people can understand what is really going on, because modern day people in society, this is a whole other show in itself, you know what I'm saying? They just go to the dope man, but you don't really know what you're getting, you know? So
you guys are right, man. We've got to put a foot down on all of these fronts, man. Literally, on their so-called legal stances on it and everything else. I mean, you got to start gathering up your strains and your clones right now, like heirloom fucking seeds, man. Start growing for yourself, just a plant on your own, man. Just once one plant you harvest, then you plant another one.
If you're a farmer, that's one thing. You
can do that for yourself, man. I mean, people grow fucking ferns in their houses, and what purpose do ferns serve? Nothing. Okay? They don't do shit but sit there and look good. They're like, look, I got a plant in my house. No, grow a fucking cannabis plant, man. Just one.
I'm just saying.
Reap the benefits of it.
You have to understand that the government is going to try to initiate their authority, quote unquote, when it comes to this plant, and we have to intervene. We have to control that. We have to be voice of reason, if you will, because
stop fucking watching each other.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to take out, just like they do with the food. They're going to take the nutrients and shit out of it, and they're just going to give you some fake shit. You know, hey, we're going to feed everybody in the world a tomato that don't have any nutrients that's going to help you, or an apple, or whatever it may be, and we have to intervene.
That's what I'm saying, you know. People have palm tree little plants in their house, or whatever little house plant that, you know, they were pushing in the 70s. That was a good idea.
Your garden in your backyard.
Well, why not just have one cannabis plant? Even even if you don't smoke it, you grow it, maybe sell it or give it to somebody who needs it, and that, it's just one. It's not going to raise up your power bills a whole lot to run lighting to grow one little plant, for personal consumption. What's the government going to do? Come beat down the door, everybody, just because, you're growing one plant? That only comes from if we can stop snitching each other off like a bunch of fucking tattletales. Because seriously, that 90% of the people that end up going to fucking jail for cannabis use at all, or even get the police involved, it's because some stupid motherfucker went there. They're doing something that they say is illegal, and that ends up being one of the biggest problems. Go ahead, Daniel.
Well, how far did he get into explaining how the program works and whatnot?
He explained
it to the T. He explained everything.
All right, cool. I know,
Daniel, we gave him as much time as he had here tonight, because I know he had his kids and things were going on, and they were getting reckless, but at least 45 minutes, we just gave him the floor, and he nailed it, man. He articulated it very well.
You guys had him on, and he can speak from the public relations aspect of CannaSense. But, like we were talking about during the break, he hasn't used cannabis in 17 years. He understands it's a medicine. Now, I am a patient, okay? I actually, I talk about this all the time. I can speak to it because I can empathize with people. I have post-traumatic stress disorder, which comes with a lot of other problems. It comes with insomnia, anxiety, panic attacks, and I'm a recovered alcoholic. Those two are not good.
I'm drinking right now, brother. That's what I do.
So I know, and CannaSense is great. Like you were talking about, Lee, before CannaSense came along, before I got into CannaSense, you have to go get it on the black market. And I guarantee you, like, there's a thing going around here where I'm at where they're spraying it with the embalming fluid. You don't know what you're getting.
Oh, they've been doing that for decades, man.
Have they? Well,
yeah.
How much I know.
It used to be called dank back in the 90s. You dip a joint in embalming fluid, it would really mess you up.
If you can connect, I just want to point this out. I just want to have a point real quick. If you can connect to a program or somebody that's interested, Jordan pointed this out too. He said, you can look into what you're getting. The research is there, whatever strain it is, whatever it is, they've done all the work for you. Mm-hmm. You're not just going to Joe Blow in the corner being like, yo, you got a dub,
And it's understandable, and I need to point this out, it's understandable that there are certain times that you're going to run into, excuse me, boys, certain people that, actually are doing the research on that for you on the street. Your street is, if they're people that you trust, and some of us in these communities have been around and only go and get stuff from people that we trust. At 30 years old, I'm sorry, I'm not going down the fucking corner to Ray Ray and picking up a dime sack. That just ain't happening. Okay, I know who I get it from. I know what I'm getting, and it's always quality every time. I know exactly the benefits, what strains I'm getting. So.
I just want to point this out. Not many people are doing that because most people will go to 7-Eleven or Walmart. They'll run into somebody. They may smell like weed or something. They're like, yo, I know you got some shit. What's the deal? You may not know this person from shit, but hey, I scored something, and then you smoke. You don't know what you're getting, and that's where this program comes into play because. You know what I'm saying? You can go to a dispensary if you live in a legal marijuana state, but not all of us live there. So this company stepped in, and they've done all the hard work for you as far as legal
and Daniel,
all that.
Daniel, you said that you're a patient, and I'd like you to explain that, especially being a patient from Georgia, because Georgia might be first or second here in strictest marijuana laws next to this corn-fed state here in Iowa. But
I live in Virginia, and it's terrible here. But yeah, Daniel, please let us know.
From a patient's perspective, how has this process been going for you?
Dude, well, for one thing, anybody out there, don't hesitate either, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you hear about CannaSense and you smoke, and you put it off, and like next week you get pulled over, and you knew about this program, dude, shame on you, man. Do this right away. I did it right away, because I know, what's up. But anyway, I'll tell you what, if you go to downloadedcontent.com, anybody out there, and I'm enthusiastic about this because I can empathize with people with PTSD and addiction problems very much. So I know that's a hell that you need to get out of, and there's a way to get out of it. So I'm going to talk about this until I'm blue in the face. But if you go to downloadedcontent.com and you click on the CannaSense Total Wellness page dedicated to CannaSense on my website, I put a video together. It's 24 minutes long. And it will walk you through from beginning to end with screenshots how to get your doctor's appointment set up, how to go through and get your recommendation, and then go through the apothecary. It'll walk you through A to Z on my website, and all the links to CannaSense are there. So if you go through there, it'll walk you through it, and also have a contact form on there for people who, if you have any questions after the video, which if you do, I don't see it, but if you do, I don't mind. Put your information in that contact form, and put your phone number, your email, your name. That goes directly to me. It doesn't go to any third party. It goes directly to me, Daniel Louis Crumpton. I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I possibly can with those answers. And if I have to walk you through by the hand to get your recommendation, get your welcome kit, I'll do it. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I've talked about CannaSense to some people who just want to get high, and they sit on their hands and they don't even do anything. The people who I am sponsoring into the program that are doing it right away are people who genuinely need medicine. And
Actually, Daniel, we need to talk after the show because I'm dealing with, depression, anxiety. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on that this program and this shit can help me. So I'll tell you about that later on.
All right, well, I'll tell you what I did. This is my personal experience, okay? I'm in Georgia, guys, so when I heard about it, I looked into it, I looked at the legal framework, and I said, this is bulletproof, along with some personal stuff that I also know. So I went ahead and I scheduled my doctor's appointment for the very next day. I talked to my doctor. He actually taught me some stuff about cannabis that I didn't know. Now, I'm not like a cannabis aficionado, okay? I don't know, I don't, like, wake up and just, I'm not Wiz Khalifa, okay?
Right, yeah. Or you go, yeah.
Really, if you start throwing around these slang words for the measurements, I don't know that shit. Here's $40, just give me some fucking weed, okay? Give me some medicine. So that's what I know. So I went, I got my doctor's appointment. He told me some stuff. He said, well, how long have you been using cannabis to treat your PTSD? I said, well, quite a while. He says, well, then you can actually sleep. Your sleep cycle goes back to normal. And I was like, yeah, obviously, yeah. Being a chronic insomniac, that was the first thing I noticed. He explained to me why. It was some stuff that I never knew. I knew that it worked. I didn't know why. So he, 10 minutes after I got off of a video conference with him, I got my medical card in my email that you can print out and use right away, and I got my recommendation. The very next business day, I got the hard copy, dude, and it feels so good. When you open that envelope, and you've got like a license card, plastic card, with your smiling ass on that picture, because you're going to smile when you get that picture taken. My ass was smiling. I said, and you know what? This is the ID. Whenever I go to buy something where you got to be 18 or older to get it, this is the fucking ID I'm pulling out. And I do, man. I went down to the bank the other day to cash a check. I said, here's my ID. It was my medical marijuana card. I don't give a fuck. They were like, yes. Get this thing. And I said, let me tell you. And I broke it down for him. I don't care. Dude, the name of it opens doors.
It opens doors, Daniel. It opens doors, you know what I'm saying?
It gets the conversation going with people in your community when you use that as your ID, So
that's a great idea. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dude,
that is amazing.
I've gone into a gas station to buy cigarettes. I hadn't kicked that yet. I've kicked everything else with cigarettes. I'm working on it.
I don't blame you. I smoke like a fucking cigarette.
I use that as my ID, and they're like, what the fuck? And so I actually get to open them up, sign them up, and then I got somebody permanently down at my gas station that's signing people up for me, and I'm not even there.
There you go.
And you get, a commission or however that works through CannaSense, but that's like you said, it's bulletproof. I mean, it's essentially, it's only been operating for, Jordan was saying like 2 years or whatever. Or whatever, yeah.
Well, so let me finish, man, because this is like talking about being with a sexy woman. So anyway, so I get my recommendation. Okay, I upload that bad boy to CannaSense. I wait about 8 hours, and I get it. Congratulations, you're approved. You're in, right? And I'm like, what? So when you get in, when you pay the full $420, okay, you get $300 worth of medicine. So figure it out. I mean, it pays for itself, bro. So you get there's 6 welcome kits. Now, 1 through 5, I don't really know what's in them, but I've had people that I've sponsored that got it and said they were very, very satisfied by picking some random stuff or letting CannaSense pick it for you because they got a variety of stuff they never knew existed.
Yeah, Jordan mentioned that. He mentioned that.
Cannabis coffee. Dude, I know ain't nobody ever overdosed on cannabis, but when you tell me you got some cannabis-infused coffee, I'm going to die. My ass going to die.
Oh, you ain't never made that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, shit, man. We used to make weed coffee back in the day. This is way back in the day, kids, when, I used to do another drug called you had to level that out with something, and, you had to have coffee because, well, you got to keep that rush going because you can't always, put things up your nose. But you also wanted to level that out because if you got your heart rate going too fast, then you freak out.
Wrap your head around that.
But if you threw a little bit of, I'm trying to explain to you how we did it. Okay, if you throw a little bit of weed up into that coffee when you're making the coffee, it'll soak right through. Any stems that you got, throw them down into the coffee pot because, man, that's where a lot of it comes from.
They do it for you. That's the important aspect of it.
I'm just saying, I did that for years when I was on methamphetamines, man, because
No, I'm just saying, Lee. I don't want to get into the dark aspect.
I'm not ashamed of fucking what I've done because
But Jordan was mentioning, saying they're working with different vendors and different people that they are working with again expanding CannaSense, and there's going to be edibles. There's going to be multiple different things that people can reach out and actually use.
They already got edibles and stuff, man. Here's what I did. Okay,
I know, but there's more coming. There's more coming. That's my point.
Oh, this company's jumping, dude. It's how we're going to win everything, really. But
should I invest stock? Should I go to the stock market and invest it?
I don't think they openly trade yet, but there is stock stuff once you get in. I don't know anything about the stock market. But anyway,
that's a beautiful thing because real quick, Daniel, I didn't know about this because I posted some shit on Facebook and my depression, my anxiety, the shit I'm dealing with. And Jordan sent me a message out of the blue, and me and Jordan go way back. Like I said, we've done shows with Jordan, and he's just a genuine dude, you know what I'm saying? He was reaching out to me. He was like, I can help you dealing with the shit you're dealing with. So I understand
I'm gonna say something about Jordan. I'm going to say something about Jordan that's kind of an off-the-air thing, and I know he would never say it himself, but me and this dude, we were talking, we haven't done we've been trying to do a podcast together since we hooked up, but it just hasn't happened. We've been doing shows individually. We hadn't got together, but we're talking, and he was, congratulating me and lifting me up on doing as well as I'm doing, bringing people in, and we were both talking, and I was like, dude, do you know, already he does, but it's like, you know how it feels to wake up and check your messages, like on Facebook and stuff, and get like 80% of people saying, thank you, you're doing God's work, you're an angel.
Yeah.
You helped make my life better. I said, Jordan, that is, and he really, truly, honestly, that's why he is doing what he's doing, man. And
I know. I know that.
That right there, homeboy, I don't care if you don't believe in heaven and hell or something, there's going to be a God that creates a heaven for a soul like that. So, and
Jordan's, I really, you know what I'm saying, it's not I'm not trying to boast him or promote anything he's doing, but I just want people to know that Jordan Page is actually one of the best people I've met. And I posted about this in the comments when I was on Facebook the other day. It's just like, I don't know what I would do in the last 5 years if I haven't interacted with these people. And even yourself, Daniel, you know what I'm saying? We'll work on some shit later on, me and you, and possibly get you on, you know, this show and other shows, and just get you out there, because, you know, it is important for us to do what we do. It's very important.
You know, it's like I said about Jordan Page, there in the first hour, just to reiterate what type of person he is. You know, if you're a Marvel Comics fan or watch any of those movies, he is the Captain America. He is good for the sake of good. He really cares about each and every last one of us, and it's a miraculous thing when you can come across a human being that in this day and age now, that really wants to be that way. I mean,
he wants to help, man.
Can I be Spider-Man?
Like, let's form the Avengers crew and shit.
Yes.
But I mean, he really wants to help, and I think that's where we all come from. You know what I'm saying? When we do the radio shows or the podcast, or we're even posting, it may be some stupid shit that you post, or letting people know about your own personal struggles. But I often forget that people care about what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's important. People do care.
Yeah.
I mean, we're using social media. We don't talk on the phone all the time to even me and Leaf here, we don't talk on the phone during the week sometimes because we have so much shit going on in our personal lives. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I know Leaf here is family to me. You know what I'm saying? I know I can rely on him. Just like, me. Just like he can to me. And everything that's going on, like you were saying earlier with the Ron Paul thing. Ron Paul sparked a movement that he will go down in history for that. And not just that particular individual, but when it comes to other people that are involved in what we do, like Jordan, again, Payne Monsanto, Steve Grant, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, these people are important to what we do. That's what I wanted to...
hang on, Dennis. Let Daniel kick in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where are we? Oh. Dude, I was telling you about me getting my swag.
No, I wanted to segue into something real quick, because music is very important to what we do, and Jordan is a part of that, and like I said, some other people I mentioned just recently are very important to that. And I think, like I was telling you guys during the break, we can do a 2-hour radio show, but a 3 or 4 minute song, 5 minute song, 6 minute song, I mean, you can literally open somebody's mind and actually get them to question and understand and contemplate what's actually going on in society. And that's very important to what we do. So we need people making music, and I encourage that. That's kind of why I got into radio, not to give people a history about what I do or what Leaf here does, but we've done shows on, we don't even talk. We get on the show, we don't really, hey, what are you doing? And we'll play music for 2 or 3 hours just to give people that experience and let them know there are people out there, that are making music, because music is very important. This goes beyond what we were just talking about with this cannabis and everything else, but music is very important. If music doesn't move you, I'm not talking about mainstream music, but if this music in the liberty movement or the truth movement or the activism doesn't move you, then there's something going on with you that you might want to check. You might want to check on that, because mainstream music, at least in my opinion, since 2000 has been complete garbage. Even before that, maybe 1995-ish.
This has been true. Daniel, let's get your take on this before we go kicking into break. We got about 15 minutes before we get to the next. About 10 minutes.
And Lee, I want to get your opinion on this, because I know we talked about this extensively, but yeah.
We'll get it in there, but let's get Daniel's opinion in on this, man. Mainstream music versus, let's say underground music, for lack of a better term, nowadays. What's your opinion there, man?
right, well, I'll tell you. Well, let's play a game. You call out some mainstream, because one man's definition is going to be different from the other one's. Give me a mainstream artist, and I'll tell you if I think there's any merit to it.
Dennis, I defer to you on this one.
I really can't, because like I said, I listen to. I grew up in the 80s. The 80s and 90s, you know what I'm saying? In the 90s, I was a teenager, so there's music in there that is a soundtrack to my life, and everybody has that. Everybody has that soundtrack to their life.
Right,
but
right.
once
Let me Google some shit here.
Happened,
Now you're going to make an old man Google shit. You guys are fucks.
No, I'm just saying. Even before that, my parents raised me on, like, good music. I thank God that my parents were in tune and to, like, what real music was. But even post 9/11, 2000, early 2000s, I mean, music kind of took a different direction, and it really went on a different path.
All right,
intertwined with this shit.
We're going to give you a contrast and comparison. I'm going to give you two artists, and I want you to elaborate on both of them and give us your opinion, okay? We'll do this about 3 or 4 dozen times. It depends on how drunk I get. But
okay.
No, you're
no, I'm fucking. All right.
Do what you can.
First of all, we're going to enter the world of hip-hop, and I'm going to say Run DMC and Eminem.
Run DMC, I probably could not name one of their songs, but I know that they are in my Pandora list. Eminem, I'm going to be honest with you, when he first came out, I was very abrasive to new music, but if you want my honest opinion, man, Eminem is probably one of the greatest philosophers of our day, in my opinion. I mean, the man, they did some study where they, a poet, philosopher, he really, really is, and I understand where the whole Eminem and Slim Shady and then Marshall Mathers and all that. Dude, as an artist, you have so many voices in your head. As a writer, I can tell you, people would think that I have, dissociative identity disorder, because when I really get into what I'm writing, those characters are so tangible to me that they need a vessel. And you could call it channeling or whatever, but I get the dual identities that hip-hop artists, and specifically hip-hop artists, always change their name, which is a spiritual practice.
Are you familiar, real quick, Daniel, are you familiar with Payday Monsanto? Are you in tune? Okay, yeah, we've had him on shows. Again, he reminds me not of Jordan Page, but he reminds me of somebody that's very articulated and somebody that understands what it means to be a poet, not a rapper, but a poet. And here's another aspect of that, right? Okay, Run DMC is one thing. What about Public Enemy? How do you feel about Public Enemy?
I really couldn't say. I didn't really get into hip-hop until the past few years, so I probably,
I can identify with that, but...
Yeah, only the past year, and I'll tell you, some hip-hop artists that I really, really like is, obviously your big ones, man, Eminem and Snoop, but I like Deltron 3030. I love Deltron 3030. Okay, I don't know if you guys know, those are some, oh my God.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Cunnilingus, you guys know Cunnilingus?
Cunnilingus is awesome.
That is some spacey stuff, man.
They're from Georgia. They're not from Georgia, actually. They're from around the area. Let me think. Hold on a second.
Those guys are
Kentucky. They're from Kentucky.
Yeah,
they're from Kentucky. So.
Deltron, Hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
I heard the name.
R.A. the Rugged Man. R.A. the Rugged Man is essentially an underground artist that has been blackballed by the industry. You can talk about Eminem, Dr. Dre, all this shit that came out, even back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, Snoop Dogg, whoever it was. But here's an interesting aspect of it. This is a whole other show. Anybody that was abrasive towards Dr. Dre, as far as Tupac, or even Eazy-E, were murdered. Or put in a predicament where they weren't able to continue their legacy. Now, that's a whole other thing.
Dun, dun,
Hollywood,
dun,
I'm just saying, Hollywood works in the hip-hop industry. not just hip hop industry, but the music industry works with this demonic energy that if you don't play ball, will replace you with somebody else, and that's not the way that you should go about things. But when it comes to the underground, trust me, in the last, at least since 2011, I can show you some artists that are really out here doing what they do to not necessarily make money or be famous or make $1 million or win Grammys and shit. They do this shit because the same reason we do the shit that we do. It's just because it needs to be done.
Well, we've got to move on past the hip hop before we get to break here, man, because it's almost
Lee, real quick. Lee Pierre showed me some bands and people that he works with in Iowa, mutual friends. That is amazing music. I mean, I would have never known about that if it wasn't for Lee Pierre. Just like Jordan Page. I would have never found Jordan Page if it wasn't for a few links through mutual friends and showing me his music. And this goes on and on and on. And like I said, these people don't really necessarily make music to find profit. They're just artists. You see what I'm saying? I'm an artist myself. I paint, I draw, but that's
right on, man.
On radio.
We gotta get to the next question, okay? Yeah, all right. We're gonna put this in Daniel's court here. Bob Dylan and John Legend. Go.
Bob Dylan.
The fuck is John Legend? The fuck are you talking about?
Yes.
Bob Dylan is just he's one of those guys that I mean, when you're trying to speak hardcore truth to power, especially in the era he came up in, you have to be very tactful how you give certain political messages and certain commentaries on the society that you're in. If you say it the wrong way, you find yourself in front of a firing squad or in a cage.
Yeah, they're gonna take you out.
You have to become a stage hypnotist in a way. And so, I mean, they're going to be decoding stuff that like Bob Dylan and Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin were saying for centuries to come. I mean,
what about Johnny Cash, real quick? Let's talk about Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, dude, there's very few men I will bend my knee to. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, Johnny Cash was amazing. I don't know how you feel about Johnny Cash, but I'm pretty sure.
Me and my dad, we were at odds. We were complete loggerheads when it came to music. But I'll tell you what, the place where we met, the place where we had parlay, was what they call outlaw music, and Johnny Cash was the doorway. Me and Dad could travel from one part of the state to the other part of the state with Johnny Cash on the radio, and we were cool, dude. It was that and
Johnny Cash lead you down to Johnny Cash will lead you to Willie, lead you to Waylon, lead you to Merle, lead you down to Hank 3, Hank Jr. Yeah, this shit, man.
Yeah, dude, and I'm telling you, dude, like the Statler Brothers. You remember the Statler Brothers, dude?
Oh hell yeah, dude! It was on my grandma's jukebox in her bar when I was growing up.
Yeah. Now, if you would have taught how me and my mom connected through music, man, Elvis, dog. Elvis Presley.
There's Elvis and Motown, dude, because I love me some fucking Motown, man. Dude,
no shit. My mother would play Al Green when I was growing up. So Al Green, you gotta throw it out there too.
Yeah, dude, Al Green.
Hey, I'm a Georgia boy. So you know what I'm saying? Otis Redding, man.
Otis is there.
Yes.
I was just talking about Otis with my girl the other night, man. It was, yep.
I'll tell you something. You know, anybody who's ever heard of me before, I don't believe in races. I believe in culture.
We're all in one race, the human race.
Yeah. But I love the black culture. It's so thick and rich. It's so emotional.
Especially where you're at in Georgia.
Yeah, you go to a Southern Baptist church with a bunch of white folks in there, okay, and then you go to a black church, you know, and to their praise and worship ceremonies. And I'm not like a Baptist or anything anymore, but I'll go to any temple or place of worship if you talk about peace and stuff. So, but yeah, you can tell a difference in the soul of the black person versus, you know, the stiffness of the white person. And I'm a pasty Irish motherfucker, so But they're gonna stomp the steeple off that motherfucker. But our God, is he stomping and beating on shit?
Well, you know, and you know, that's real. You know, that's a real feeling that these people are experiencing. And, you know, regardless of what it's based on, it's something tangible in their lives that, you know, they're experiencing. And to be quite honest, I've seen it a couple times in white churches. You know, they were predominantly white churches, you know, whatsoever.
Point this out. You're not the most religious person I've ever met.
Oh, no. There's a reason I'm not. It's because I lived a long enough lifestyle and looked into enough religions and went to enough of these churches.
I understand that. I'm just saying,
being religious and being spiritual are two totally different.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Following the Bible and having a connection with God, Lee, I know you understand that. I mean, I know you have a connection.
Well, that's what I was trying to point out is how real it was. That was a connection with God. You know, whether or not it's coming through the simple Bible passages, or whether or not it's a realistic connection that you have with the Almighty on your hands and knees in the middle of a goddamn field at 3 o'clock in the morning full of fucking whiskey. It can happen, kids. You can still have that connection with an Almighty, whether or not you believe in God or any of that other crap, or especially if you think that there might be something there, but you think that all these religions that keep, you know, going to war with each other over years and years and years and years and years and years and years is ridiculous.
Back to the music, or
go ahead. Yeah, we can get back to the music because we're about to go to break. We have to. Good Lord, boys, kick us into break. Give us 30 seconds apiece, and we'll kick back into this music quiz.
Daniel, go ahead and just let us know what you got. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome to hang out. But
yeah, the third hour is coming up.
Yeah, dude, I'll stick around. I already did my business for the day, so I'm good for the rest of the show if you want me to stick around.
Right on, because we're only going to get more stoned and more drunk. This is the happy hour, man. It happens.
That's my swag story, dude. I got to finish saying what happened when I got my CannaSense Welcome Kit, dog.
Oh, CannaSense Welcome Kit, Part 2 coming up in the...
ADD.
No, man, I'm on, you know, my 10th beer. And... Dude, this purple train. No, hang on. No. This purple train wreck is kicking my fucking ass, dude. It totally is.
You know what I'm saying, Daniel? Before you even go into what you're gonna elaborate on, me, Leaf here, and a few other people are actually gonna be working on a comedian show of comedians that we actually, you know, appreciate. The people that, from Bill Hicks to whoever it is, I mean, these people will get on stage and make people laugh, but behind closed doors, these people are very disturbed and very sad, and we're going to work on that show later on. Maybe you can be a part of that, because that's something I'm very interested in, and I think that people need to hear a show like that. But yeah, just give us, you know, our thoughts, you know, not our thoughts, but your thoughts before we go to break here. Take a few minutes.
Me and Chuck, we're real good friends, and when we had the opportunity to hang out together, we watched a lot of comedy stuff, and both of us were in a really bad place in our life anyway. It was a painful place. And he goes, he looked at me one night, he says, "You know where the best comedy comes from, don't you?" And I'm like, "No, where, dude? I never really thought about it." He said, "It was suffering."
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, he just bitch slapped my perspective about comedy and all the great comedians that have profoundly changed my life. Made me understand those guys like Bill Hicks and, you know, like that even more, man. So yeah, dude.
That's true. All right, boys, we're going to jump to break. I got to get in here so we can try and get the Sarge in as well for the third hour. We've got Daniel Louis Crumpton from DownloadedContent.com, myself, and Mr. Friday Night, and we'll be back when the Friday Night Super Show continues.
Liquid chicken, baby! Do you have problems with your dental work? Does your gums bleed and get infected? Well, the answer to all your prayers is in this little bottle. You can eat liquid chicken with a straw. It's got all the vitamins and minerals of solid chicken, but it don't promote tooth decay. And, most of all, it don't promote a solid movement. Remember what happened to Elvis? Think about it. Liquid chicken is convenient too. If you ain't got time to wash your hands and eat, just turn up a bottle of liquid chicken or drink it with a straw. Damn, that's good.
The gold reserve got my tongue super loose and comfortably numb, more focused than ever and ready for whatever's to come. While big Pharma got the populace wonderfully dumb. Addicted to deadly drugs to keep them under their thumb. You're dealing with scum, handsomely paid to peddle poison. Enjoy something that grows out of the ground, that annoys them, destroy them. Let them know you're privy to their thin scam. Stand tall, don't ever fall for the flim flam. Most politicians are supporters of NAMBLA and actors who follow a script similar to Tony Danza. Who's the boss? It'll cost if you're a gambler. I'll disappear you off of the grid like Adam Lanza. My mantra, incarcerate inquisitors and put them on serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Pharmaceutical giants should lose all privileges, incarcerate their contributors, strip them of their visitors. All I got is a gold pot to piss in, a pole pot position, controlled opposition. They won't stop the mission, they don't got the vision. My cold got them shivering, I'm so hot, I'm sizzling. I am not a slave to the rhythm. The rhythm is a victim of an ancient predilection that I give them. The law of nature on which I base the decision. Obama was the pres, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. The treatment you're receiving is no different from stepchilds. You keep swallowing semen of these demons and reptiles. When will you learn? Pyros are working together, taking turns, and their only endeavor is to make it burn. Hey yo, I had enough of this. Justice Department suck my dick, fuck that bitch. I will force feed her the poison from a pufferfish. These snuffleupagus motherfuckers in love with this hot potato, but they won't even touch it with some oven mitts. Now that I understand the level of deceit, to keep these devils in their seat and let them peddle on the street. Their pathetic, apologetic rhetoric that won't compete with the veracity and the tenacity that can't be beat. Suckers and tyrants, they both act as one. The best way to expose them is to make them act like one. Look at all these evil people making a killing. Literally, I'll make the gargoyles come to life and eat the people in your building. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. Word magic has let the oligarchy step on your voice. Man, I'm telling you, it's the pirate's favorite weapon of choice. Lady Liberty has been literally keeping people in misery. The context is more complex than the prison industry. They're parasitically feeding upon the citizenry, leading it, ritualistically feeding it so habitually. America's in a crisis, getting massacred by ISIS. You could be Al-Qaeda, so your constitution don't mean shit to me. You look suspicious, miss. Step out your car, please. Civil forfeiture, we're collecting like Barclays. We'll take your cash and we'll wipe out your cars, please. And trying to get it back is worse than ripping out shark teeth. I hate to sound unkind, but all that does is cloud your mind. I hope you get to take some time away from shit that makes you blind. My self-contained underwater breathing apparatus lets me see these sharks for who they are and come report the status. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. Sharks. Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Sharks. Say what? Say what? What? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Sharks. Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? What? Say 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 what?
Laid back in an old saloon with a peso in my hand, watching flies and children on the street. And I catch a glimpse of black-eyed girls who giggle when I smile. There's a little
boys, here we are back in the third hour of the Friday Night Super Show. I am the mouth laughing and scratching along with my tag team partner, Mr. Friday Night Dennis Ford. We are joined still by Daniel Louis Crumpton from downloadedcontent.com. Ladies and gentlemen, check out everything that they have available for you there. We're also trying to get the Sarge in. Sarge, I'm trying to get you. Give me a second, buddy. We did have to come back. We can only play music for so long. It is a talk radio show. Boys, how in the hell is you doing tonight, man? We've had a great show, had a great bunch of content distributed throughout the show. This post-420 show, we'll have the Friday Night Super Show 420 show next year, kids.
No, just give me a second here, Lee here. Also, on top of what I was telling you during the break, you know what I'm saying, this is essentially why I got into radio, because the last couple of weeks have been, you know, A++, 120% of what we need and what we bring to the table. Not saying that we're better than any show out there. It's just that, you know what I'm saying, that's what I want from you, Lee. I want you to, I want the best from you. Even if life is giving you shit all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just like it is me. You know what I'm saying? I want you to bring what you bring to the table, and that's what we have done here tonight. And, you know,
we've been supported by a great couple of guests too, man. I mean, we had Jordan Page in the first hour, ladies and gentlemen. We got Daniel Louis Crumpton here in the second hour, man. I think we have Sarge now. Sarge, are you there?
You're gonna have to call him back,
buddy. I think your phone is on mute or something, because every time we go to it can't be muted on my end. It would mute everybody else's. So,
we got you.
Sarge?
All right. It must have been the headphones that I had on.
There you go. Welcome to the Sarge.
How y'all fellas doing, man?
Show, Sarge.
Ladies and gentlemen, an original member of the Friday Night crew, the Sarge, man. How's it going, brother?
What's going, brother? Life is improving. Life is getting better. The wife and I are expecting our first. Should be here in another about 3.5 months. Aside from that, you know, things are looking up. You know, we were struggling real hard for a good little while there, and things have been picking up for us lately. God's been blessing us and providing for us every step of the way, everything that we need, and things are improving. You know, so life is getting better.
Sarge, I just want to tell you, man, I've been praying for you very hard.
Oh, hell, I've been praying for you too, Dennis. You know, you've been going through a lot of stuff here lately, man, especially, you know, since losing your mom. You know, you've been dealing with a lot left and right, but I've been praying for you too.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been, you know, I wish I could do more to help your cause, just like, you know, vice versa, you know, I'm sure. But, you know, again, we're all going through shit. But, Sarge, you know, you're part of the original Friday night, you know, crew of people that we, you know, every week you would be on the show. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's good to hear your voice, my brother. And I'm glad things are changing in your life. So that's good news to me.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get back in it, you know, be a regular part of the show again, because for some months I was, you know, going through a lot, didn't always have a phone to really be able to call in, and, you know, so, I mean, things were, you know, certain circumstances were preventing me from being present for a little while, and now that I'm able to be present, I would like to, but Lee, that Spreaker thing and this broadcasting.
Yeah, I know. You know, I love you to death, brother. I love you to death, and I respect the hell out of you. But if you want me to change it, ship me $1,200. Because you know,
I'm wondering though.
That's what I got to work with on that.
Way to be able to, if I can't call in one week, or if the lines are still acting stupid, is there is there like some other kind of way that I can listen to the show live and maybe even come on the show with you guys every week other than calling the number?
Call the number is the only way to be a part of the show.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to be a part of the show. But sorry,
is there a way to listen to the show in the event that I can't get through?
Yeah, I mean, you can check out the archives, but you can go to speaker.com as soon as we go live. If you click the button or whatever it is on speaker.com for Last Voice for Liberty, you'll get an email, and they'll let you know when the show is live, and you can listen to that. But Sarge, I want to let you know something, man. I know you've been calling this show. You've been calling these shows for years, but I can hear it in your voice, man. You're actually, you may not be extremely happy, but I'm glad things are working out for you. You know what I'm saying? I can hear it in your voice.
It, brother. I mean, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be.
No, not everybody.
Lord is not through with me yet, brother.
I'm definitely not where I want to be either, but I'm not where I used to be either. So, cheers! It's time for another beer. We've still got Daniel Louis Crumpton. We've been in a discussion about music for the last 20 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and we never did get to the metal category questionnaire about this. And Daniel, I'm sorry to put you under the grill here, being the newbie and all. If you're still there.
I just feel left out because y'all was all praying for each other earlier. Now, one time to my name.
Yeah, Daniel, real quick.
I'm working on it, man.
Before we get into this,
it's the lack of beer.
You a talking motherfucker, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe Daniel and Sarge need to link up because you know what I'm saying. We all have a certain common ground where we identify with each other. Whether we agree on everything, that's a whole other subject. But Sarge is somebody, again, throughout the years that has been with us, and he's never really changed. He's always been concrete in his beliefs and what he believes in, and Daniel,
and what I know.
Yeah, exactly.
And what I know. I'm a man who's seen some things in this life, man, and some of the things I have seen, some people would sit back and say, "You're delusional, you were hallucinating," but my eyes don't lie to it.
You have PTSD, and so does Daniel. So maybe you guys can communicate with each other and work together. Also, Sarge, I don't know if you caught the entire show, but we've been talking about CannaSense. So wherever you are in the United States, you can link up with this particular program and get medical marijuana to help you out, or edibles, or whatever you need to help you out. And we'll talk about that later.
Dude. I know where to get the good shit at. I'm not
talking about that. I'm not talking about that. This is actually a program and a company that is
assisting veterans and whatnot, and being able to use medical marijuana.
Daniel, can you elaborate real quick on this? Because I'm at a loss for words.
What CannaSense is, man, it's a non-profit. Really, I keep saying company on other shows. I keep messing it up. It's a non-profit. What CannaSense is, it makes anybody in any of the 50 states, regardless of what state you reside in, a legal medical cannabis patient with a card and all that under the Compassionate Use Act of 1996, Article 4 of the Constitution, and the Affordable Health Care Act, which basically lets anybody like me. I'm in Georgia. You can't get medical.
Well, where are you in Georgia?
I'm in Warner Robins, man.
You're in Warner Robins. I'm in Glenville. About an hour and a half northwest of Savannah.
God damn!
I believe you're not too far away from my neck of the woods.
Yeah, you guys need to talk. That's all I'm saying. You guys need to communicate. Trust me.
So you're from Georgia. You know what it's like here. So what CannaSense basically, man, I was able to get me a doctor's appointment in California via the internet, get me a recommendation. Now I am legally protected by the 1996 Compassionate Use Act of California, and Article 4 of the Constitution. So I can legally carry, transport, and consume cannabis in the state of Georgia, and the state of Georgia cannot move against me with CannaSense. And if they do, CannaSense offers a legal defense team that will come and exonerate you and make you a very wealthy person. And I have personally tested this legal system out myself with the state. Okay?
Well, what I want you to do, brother, is are you friends with Dennis or Lee?
Yeah,
Dennis, link us up. Link us up, man, because this is something I definitely need to look into.
Well, let me tell you, man, because here's what happens when you become a part of the collective. All right, you have several legal safeguards. Then this is where it gets real cool. You get access to their apothecary, and you can order your cannabis that ships directly to your door legally.
Right to your door. Sorry.
Fucking sweet.
Legal cannabis, dude, straight to your door. If you want the edibles, you can get the edibles, the capsules, the coffee.
You can get anything you need. You can get anything you need.
And it ships straight to your house, 100%. It's all legal, okay? Nobody
wants to leave to smoke.
You can get that too.
Hey, if you want flowers, this is where this is it. Sorry, so I'm gonna help you out. I'll link you guys up.
Yeah, so
I'll do that.
Actually, this is
definitely do that.
Let me go ahead and tell you, Sarge, which is funny. That was my dad's nickname, by the way. So synchronicity. But anyway, so when I did it, I ordered a welcome kit, and I picked out, according to my doctor, I told him what was up with me, and he said this is the strain that I really recommend. Okay, so you were talking about the Jordan Page strain. I will tell you something. First thing I do in the morning is I'm a real creative guy, and I take care of my mom. She's 74. She's a widow. She got COPD. That's my first priority, so I work at home. I am a writer.
Cannabis will help with that.
Yeah, I'm a writer. I'm a podcaster. I've just done
ordained minister.
So.
Hey, yeah, you and me, brother, definitely ordained minister. What denomination?
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'll link you up.
I'm what's called a Gnostic. I used to be a Baptist, but I'm a Gnostic now. So, but anyway, dude. So what I do, when I got my welcome kit, I'll order, the sativa and hybrid. Okay, I get my stuff in the mail. From getting my medical card to getting my medicine in the mail took less than a week. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Less than a week, dude. I get it in the mail. The Jordan Page strain, if you got to, build a barn or paint your house or some shit, you rip one good bong off of that, and you are getting shit done. Okay? It's so funny, dude. I had a CannaSense party at my house. It was so funny because the guys who are at my house, they don't know that Jordan Page is actually like a guy because they're not like in the Liberty movement. They just keep calling the herb, that Jordan Page, man.
Yeah, he makes music.
Yeah,
he makes music. Trust me.
Yeah, but these guys, they had no clue. They had no clue that Jordan Page was a real guy that's actually in my social circles, right? And so they're sitting there like, let me blow that Jordan Page. Shit, I'm going, oh, Jesus Christ. I hope Jordan's not listening, but it was like so awkward because they're like, yeah, dude, let me blow that Jordan Page out. And I'm like, all right.
That shit out now.
I don't know if he feels that on the West Coast, but over here in Georgia, they are blowing the fuck. Hey, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, hey, brother. You definitely should try to make your way down here to Glenville. We can meet. But are you a veteran?
I am not. My dad, after he found out, after fighting 2 foreign wars, and he found out what was up, he told me never join. He said if I'd known what I knew now, never would have done it.
That's where son comes in.
I kind of wish I had listened to my grandfather. I kind of wish I had listened to my grandfather tell me, but I joined the Marine Corps anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so I
don't know. Not a living had me shook like it had a lot of people, and had me believing a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, they play on our ignorance, man. They play on our ignorant passion. Because
not just our ignorance, but also those of us who truly do care about our countrymen and want to, really die to defend them. They play on that, humanity that a lot of us have. It's the tricks of deception are very,
Sarge, I want to let you know something. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I've known you for a few years now, and if anything I can do to help you, my brother, trust me, I'm going to do what I can to help you, and this is this is actually a higher power, if you want to call it God or whatever you want to call it. This is essentially why we are talking here tonight in the third hour of the Friday Night SuperShow. And I would definitely link you guys up because you are in proximity of each other, and you know, you guys can work something out. But if you know, the first hour we talked to Jordan Page. Jordan Page is the PR for CannaSense, and if you get on the computer later on, check out that website, CannaSense.com, and we can definitely set you up.
How's this, Dennis? If Jordan Page is on your list as well, how about you post that link and everything associated with on my timeline, and tag Jordan Page as well as what's your name, Brandon?
Daniel. It's already in the links of the show. If you go to Leaf Hair's page, Leaf Hair is essentially the ground zero to when it comes to tonight's show. But tonight's show is an amazing thing. And Sarge, like I was telling you, man, it's amazing to hear your voice. You know what I'm saying? I know you're dealing with shit, man. I know you're going through shit. But I want to help you.
God has got me. He's holding me up, brother. If I were to go and, start naming some specifics, it'd probably blow your mind how things are falling in place for me now, man. It's actually quite amazing.
Me too. And, you know what I'm saying, that's a whole other show. But, Sarge, outside of all that, you know what I'm saying, if I want to help you. You know what I'm saying? I want to help you cope with what you're dealing with. And particular, I don't want to call it a company, but this particular situation is actually going to help you because they'll ship the shit to your fucking door.
Well, I'd rather deal with a company than a corporation any day. So,
but that's what I'm saying. You don't want to go to Joe Blow on the corner or Joe Black in Georgia or wherever they are. You know what I'm saying? This shit will help you out.
What's that? If you go to my website, downloadedcontent.com, click on that CannaSense Total Wellness page.
Yeah, watch that video.
There's a video that I did that I'll walk you through everything you need to know in 20 minutes about CannaSense. By the time you get done with that 20 minutes, you'll go ahead and have all your stuff submitted.
And if you have any questions, like I said, I'm going to link you to Individual Love. I'm going to send a friend suggestion. You guys can talk about that later. But, Sarge, I want to help you because I know you know what I'm saying? I want to help you, man.
Can I speak
to
that?
Yeah, go ahead there, Daniel.
All right. You guys you've already identified as Christians, right? So,
Lee Fear is not a Christian.
Okay.
Lee Fear is not a Christian.
No.
But Sarge is, and I am.
He's a church, the first member of Dudism.
I'm still in the process of writing the book of which.
So we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Romans 8:28. Come on, man.
And here we go.
Romans 8:28.
This is where you
Romans 8:28. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. I believe that's what it is.
Nah. Come on, man. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together.
Yeah, all things work together for good.
Now wait a second.
That's what I'm saying. There's a reason why we're all contacting each other here tonight. But yeah, go ahead.
Not all.
Yeah. And listen now, you gotta listen to me preach. Come on. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Now what my preacher used to say about that is, what part of the word all do you not understand? If all things are working together for your good, that includes the bad shit too. You just don't have the perspective to see it at the time. But look, man, you're gonna be a soldier for whatever name you like to call God. Care. There's only one God, okay? If you call him Pete, for all I care. But if you're gonna be a weapon in Pete's army, he's gonna have to beat you and put you in the furnace for
Yeah, he's gonna have to beat you.
So it's like hard shit that you're going through. When you're going through some real hard shit, but man, that's cool because he's got something for me, man. He's got something for me.
Yeah, There's
everything is in preparation for the purpose of
If you can see the turtle, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're all dealing with shit. Trust me, I'm dealing with some shit right now that, you know what I'm saying, I'm crying to God. I'm trying to figure out why this shit is happening to me. Because, again, a month from now, my mother, it's been a year that she passed. And trust me, if you have never lost your mother, I hope you never have to go through that, because it's very traumatizing and very devastating. And I don't know how to explain it to people. I don't know how to put it into words. But at the same time, a year later, I'm fighting to save my father's life. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't have to go through it again to lose another parent. And, it's just very devastating. Leave here. I know you're still with us. You lost your father, my brother. And I tried to explain or put it into words, and there's nothing I could tell you. Remember? There's nothing I could tell you. There's no, words to explain that to people. When you lose a parent, that's very, very overwhelming. And I was mad at God for a while, but at the same time, my mother was ready to go. My father is ready to go. And I have to step back and understand that this is all part of the plan. This is not my design. This is something I can't really understand.
It could possibly even become, bigger than, even that. I mean, if you start to look past, you really want to start to dive into religious theocracy. Start to look at the story of Bahamut. Look at the story of Bahamut. It's from Arabian mythology. It's also listed in the Quran when Allah, or quote-unquote God, whatever the fuck you want to call him now, asked Jesus, because Jesus is mentioned 108 times in the Quran. He asked Jesus, well, did you see the fish? And Jesus says, I saw the bull, and it took 3 days' walk to cross his back. Look at it.
Bible. I mean, if you look at
are you going to believe that there's a bull with a tree and a giant fish that bounces all this shit on it?
Anything. They don't read anything. So, point that out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go. Let's calm down with the religious stuff here in the last 20 minutes of the show. Let's, next week I'm gonna give all you boys. Let's have everybody here back next Friday night. We'll do the fucking religious show. I'll even invite Liberty Lisa. I don't want to do a religious show.
No, it's gotta happen. It's been coming to a head. We haven't done one.
I don't practice religion because religion is about ritual.
That's why I want you back.
I am a child of God, saved by grace through Christ, and
whatever, dude. I don't look down on anybody.
I know this to be true, so
you can believe whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, not just felt it, but seen it myself.
I've seen it myself as well. And Lisa, I've been working on you for years, as long as Lisa has been working on you, or whoever is not working on you, but trying to help you understand what's going on. And you're older than me, Lisa, but trust me, I don't want to lose my father. And if I lose my father, it's going to become a vendetta that I have, because I've already questioned God why he took my mother, but it was my mother's time to go. You see what I'm saying?
You know what though, Dennis? I gotta put it to you this way. I know you don't want to lose your dad. I didn't want to lose my dad. I don't want to lose my mom. The same way you didn't want to lose your mom.
You still have your mother.
My mother and I don't talk.
That's fine. Trust me.
No, it isn't.
It's me and my mother. Leah, this is a whole nother show. I just want to let you know. If me and my mother never conversated or talked, that's fine. I know my mother is still alive, but me and my mother were best friends. I mean, that was my best friend.
That's how my dad was to me. You know, that's how Pops was to me. So
she's gone, and I lost her.
It's the nature of life, man.
You know, I don't about me. It's not about my own personal shit.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I gotta ask you a question, bro. Because you keep using this term, and I want you to elaborate on it. Why do you keep saying you lost your mother?
Well, that's a good question. That's actually a good question because
do you think if you start to understand where you're getting that terminology from, that you lost somebody?
No, I'm saying. I mean, I'm looking at it as a reality of the constraints that we live in.
Where did she go? Where did she go, bro?
I know where you're coming from.
I know she's in heaven. I have no question that my mother is in heaven.
Hey, bro, where's heaven at?
Well, that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in heaven, that's another thing. But I can tell you, my mother was...
No, I'm asking you. Where is heaven at? I'm asking you.
In your heart.
I don't know. Maybe on Saturn.
Hey,
where's Pluto?
Where's the internet right now?
Exactly.
Saturn and Pluto doesn't exist, brother.
I'm just saying, where are we at?
Heaven is in your heart.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
The internet is all around you and running through you, right? It's a frequency. Right? Could it be that heaven is also that it operates the same thing as like television waves, internet waves, and radio waves? It's just a frequency that runs around us and through us and in us.
Like I was saying, whenever I talk about my mother, at least when it comes to this show here tonight, you know what I'm saying? It's thunderstorming outside, and when she passed for like a week and a half, it was just like thunderstorms and like rain. You know, her passing was so devastating to anybody that had ever contacted her. But what you're saying is actually tying into what my point is that we all have that frequency. You see what I'm saying? Our voice, our thoughts, what we do as people affects people.
Let me ask you this. Sorry, but I sometimes I'm a side.
No, go ahead. Please do. Please, maybe you can explain it to me.
Do you talk to your mom every day?
After she passed, yeah. I mean,
Do you talk to her? You talk to her since she left her physical form.
Yeah, I do.
Talk back.
And I don't want to sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound insane.
But you're talking to me, dude. I see aliens and shit. Does she talk back?
No, she'll move shit around where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll come out in the morning and like she'll be moved. I'll be like, I didn't put that there, but you know what I'm saying? I can't put my finger on it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that energy.
This is something that happened between me and my father when my father went to the next place. Okay, I can talk to my dad. Okay, and then I can turn Pandora on my computer or on my smart device or whatever. And I'm telling you, he talks back to me through music. At the drop of a hat, He's talked to my dad that way, or through books, or through movies. He is all around me. He didn't go anywhere. He just went everywhere. You don't lose people, brother. You don't lose them at all. Okay? They don't go anywhere. They just go everywhere. When you learn to be mindful and be able to pay attention to how this communication works, you're going to find out that you didn't lose her. But right now is a next evolution in your friendship, because I'm best friends with my parents too, bro. I still have my mom in the physical. My dad is in metaphysical. But let me tell you something. You don't lose anybody, man. You just forget how to talk to them for a minute. That's all. There's there's a stage after they part where it takes a little reorientation.
No, she's talking to me. She's talking to me. Trust me. She is communicating with me, and I'll talk to her. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sitting in a room, or I mean, I'm not talking about praying or anything like that. I'll just be like, you know, Mom, I miss you, and then she'll do some shit. You know, later on, it may be 3 or 4 days later. You know what I'm saying? But she'll let me know that she's listening. You know, And
let me tell you something. I know for a fact, because I firmly believe this. This is just me, okay? This is my belief. I'm not trying to build a church, all right? I believe what the Old Testament says about God, that God is not a man, it's not a woman, it's a spirit. God is spirit. Those who worship God must worship God in spirit and in truth. So we have this idea of a male deity in our head, in the Christianity, but it's a spirit, okay? But it's my firm belief, this is just me, that you read about Mary and Joseph when Jesus is young, or Yeshua. I call him Yeshua, that's just me, I don't really care what you call him. But
his name is Yeshua,
yeah, so whenever we find him later, it never explicitly says that Joseph died. But I believe that when Yeshua would say, "My Father who art in heaven," I think he was talking about Joseph. That's just me. I think that he had a communication with the metaphysical, and it happened to be his dad, Joseph. Okay, that's just me. And I lost my father's physical form, so I can't hug him and stuff. But I talk to my dad every day, and my dad talks to me every day.
Yeah, I do too. I talk to my mother every day, trust me. I mean, that's a whole other show, you know what I'm saying? But that's...
I actually, if I could throw in my 2 cents here, I actually came to... I came to peace.
Not the most religious person.
I came to peace with my old man. Fucking, it's been spoken about on this show and all the shows that I've done multiple times. The day my old man died, I consumed 7. No. Let me finish, man. You guys have talked here for like 10 minutes, man. It's my turn. All right.
Go ahead.
The day my father passed, I was relatively inconsolable. There was nothing anybody could do but give me more liquor, and I consumed mass quantities of it because that was my coping mechanism. It wasn't until the day that and I had to be strong for my mom because she was a wreck, and I had to deal with all the cremation process and all that, and my dad was my best friend. Out of anybody I ever grew up with and all that other stuff, Pops was always there. Just didn't tell stupid jokes. So I took it really, really, really fucking hard. But when the day came that the whole family, we got together, and my brothers, kayaked his ashes up the river and set a little raft of his ashes on fire, I sat there and I came to peace with it. And I only talk to Pops when I need to. Because, that's the way we always did it. We talked to each other when we needed to, and when we needed to sometimes happen quite frequently. The best part about life is having to embrace death. And knowing that your loved ones, no matter what, everybody that you love is going to go. It's a selfish little part in us that you cannot deny, ladies and gentlemen. This is what a lot of the mainstream and the government feed off of it, but it's that selfish little part of not wanting to endure that pain. We want us to go before them, preferably. That's really what's in most of our heads, man, is that I don't want to see my mother go, and I know she's going to go. I didn't want to see my dad go. I know Dennis didn't want to see his mother go.
I mean, losing my mother was, I don't even want to jump in there, but losing my mother, again, that was my best friend. That was something I acted with every day. Whatever I was dealing with, I know I could call my mother, and I don't have that anymore. It's going to be a year next month, and trust me, I'm fighting and battling to continue on and leave. I know when you lost your father, my brother, trust me, we've already been down this road multiple times, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I could tell you, just like when I lost my mother. There's nothing you can tell me. There's no words to explain it.
No, there is. I'm just trying to put it out there from my experience, man. As to where I've come, because I feel like I've kind of come full circle with Pops' death. You know, it really struck me for a very long time, and I'm not entirely sure that.
I haven't had 2 years.
Well, you know, I'm not entirely. My brothers have come to terms with that either, and you know, it's something that I just wanted to say on air. In case, you know, when I die, that they actually sit and listen to my shows because they think I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Trust me. And anybody out there that knows me, whether it's the radio
show, anybody out there that has ever lost anybody, Dennis, you know, we're no different than anybody else, other than, you know, I'm prettier than most.
Why do we have to go through this? Why do we have to go?
Let's let everybody get some final thoughts in because we've got about 10 minutes left. So let's start kicking the final thoughts because we've got enough people around here to encompass 10 minutes with final thoughts.
Is this a test? You know what I'm saying? Is this a test to make me stronger or whatever? But yeah, Sarge, go ahead.
I'm done with that.
Please.
What I'm going to say on that particular topic before I give my final thought is, I agree with Daniel. You never really lose the person that you love or the people that you love. You never really lose, you know, but in this life, because we are spiritual beings, and in our spirit is where we feel our emotions, our love, our hate, everything. That's where we feel everything, in our spirit. And when you love someone, you love them in your spirit, because God is love, and we are created in God's image in the spiritual sense. We just have a physical temple here now. When this life is over, you know, there's an eternity for us beyond this. And our choices and path that we walk in this life define that. Alright, so, like, I lost my grandfather suddenly, too. And I mean, it had gotten to the point where I believe my grandfather was going to live forever, that nothing could kill him. And his sudden pass was just a shock, but I was in the twilight zone before. Like, when I found out he died and everything, I was in the twilight zone. This was in 2004. No, 2003.
Right on, boys. We do have to get the final thoughts, man, so...
Well, what I'm saying on that is you never really lose them, Lee. Alright, they're still with you. Just hold on to the most important lessons and connections that you have with that person. And whenever you sit back and you think about that person, especially if you're sitting, like, doing something that y'all would do together or anything, it comes back to you. You feel it. And on that note, my final thought is, I guess on the topic of the show, when I came on, God is alive, and He is still moving and working in the world, and He's working through His Holy Spirit. And
absolutely. So
I'm almost finished, Dennis. And
go ahead.
He is you. Got to have faith in Him. You got to be humble before Him, and God will do the rest. And the time that He does it in each individual's life is the time that He has already set, because He has a path for each and every one of us, and a test and a trial for each and every one of us. And that's how it is. There's no getting around that. I believe this life is the testing ground, because Lucifer corrupted heaven. And it is what it is.
It's good. It's
your path determines. Absolutely, your path determines your destiny.
Right on, brother.
You know, the choices are completely up to us. So I mean,
we gotta get moving on. All right. Thank you, Sarge, for being a part of the show. Make sure that you're available next week. And no, you hold on. We're getting to the guests, and then it's your turn. Okay, hang on.
No, I'm saying I'm going to link Sarge and Daniel up. You guys definitely need the song. And Sarge, you can get something that's definitely going to help you out. And
yes, Sarge, stay on the line.
You know, for 20, all that shit that has nothing to do with it. But
stay on. Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah. All All right, brother. This is what we do when we give everybody that's called in at the last of the show their last thoughts, their final thoughts for the evening. So you got 2 minutes right now, man. Go.
Yeah, as far as what they were saying, man, I always say, I've said it a bunch of times, we are all crucified between two thieves. Thief of the past and the thief of the future. Past has you in guilt and worry and or guilt and shame and pain and regret and all that keeps you in that low frequency.
Absolutely, you gotta find that balance.
Dude, you a talking motherfucker, Dennis.
I know, but you gotta find that balance in yourself.
Dennis, find that balance between quiet and not talking.
I know. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, Daniel.
Go ahead.
Now,
I know.
And if you pulled into worry and fear and shit like that into that frequency, look, man, there's only one place where you can really, really exist. You know, and that's in the present moment. Don't be waiting. You know, heaven is here. It's here in your heart, or hell is here. It's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So every single second is beautiful. And there's a movie that Will Smith just did called Collateral Beauty. If you're going through some shit, watch that movie. Or read The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Okay? Identify with the role of Jesus Christ or Yeshua. And then just choose not to be in the part where he's getting crucified all the time. If Christ is within you, if the Holy Spirit is within you, that means that you are timeless. You're outside of time. Which means that you can, at will, use the Holy Spirit within you to bring about heaven. Right here, right now, with every person that you come in contact with. There is beauty in all of this stuff. We never lose anybody. Stop speaking in past tense. I lost. I could. I spoke. No, it's right here, dude. Don't be caught up in the trap of it's later. It's high in the sky, but only when you die. It's right now. Walk it. You guys can find me at downloadedcontent.com. I do birthday parties.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Louis Crumpton, downloadedcontent.com once again, and apparently he does do birthday parties, which is very nice. Dennis Ford, you have the floor, Mr. Friday Night.
No, I just need probably half a minute here, but that's essentially, you know what I'm saying, that's important because we all live in time. You know, time is something we can't escape, and, you know, being alive is something I'm very, you know, I'm happy about that. I'm happy I'm still alive, and like I said, you have to find that balance. You know, you have to find that fine line that you can work within that makes you happy, and it makes you appreciate other people, your life, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? Death is not something, even when you lose an animal, I mean, death is very devastating. But it's something that we have to understand and look into and understand that, you know what I'm saying, these things are unescapable. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm going to go up and talk to my father later on here tonight, probably in the morning, whatever I can do. But trust me, I don't want to lose my father. I already lost my mother, and, you know, it's just, you got to rebuild, man. You got to find something that pulls the shit out of you or, you know, makes you appreciate being alive. And death will do that to you. Leaf here, I know you can relate to that. If anything, Leaf here, I want to tell you, my brother, thank you for tonight's show. Again, this is the Friday Night Super Show. This is what we bring to the table, the tag team champions of talk radio. And it's not an ego thing. Okay? It's not an ego thing. It's not an ego thing. It's not me trying to be the best out there or the best radio show host or podcast host or any of that. But trust me, you're not going to find anything else out there that is compatible with the Friday Night Super Show. So, Leap here, I'm going to give you the platform to give your final thoughts. And again, thank you, Leap here. I love you to death, my brother. And I love all the people that joined us here tonight. Daniel, you know, Jordan Page,
that's right.
Sarge, and that's really all I got here tonight. I'm going to drink that, Leap here, and I'm going to give you the platform.
That's right.
Give you the microphone.
That's right, boys.
Do what you do,
boys. It's been a great and informative show. I really appreciate all of you chiming in. The things that we've covered tonight, man, from the legal or decriminalized, as a lot of us like to put it, cannabis, which can act as a medicine. It does act as a medicine. It really does, kids. It's not a joke.
I didn't really get into that.
That's right. But you know, we've covered that from with Jordan Page and Daniel Louis Crumpton's testimonies from being a part of the CannaSense company. I think it's something that you really should check out. I know I'm going to check it out for a good friend of mine, and perhaps even myself if I really get that down to it. But because I'm not sick enough to take part in something that sick people should be taking part of, I could still store my own. No. On that note, kids, we started to end it with a whole lot of sadness, man. And death should not be a sad thing. Okay, it's a part of life. It is a part of everything that is. Do not be sad for those who transform into the Force. Rejoice for them. Because that is not where we should be.
Yeah, exactly.
And whether it's heaven or hell. Let me finish. I got 30 seconds here, for fuck's sake.
I know we're going to get cut off, but I'm just saying.
Let me finish. Dennis, for fuck's sake.
There is a beginning and there is an end to everything on this planet.
Holy hell, my fuck. Am I talking to myself?
Yeah.
Yes, I am talking to myself. Right. For fuck's sakes, man. I mean...
Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
It's my show, too.
Well, but I let everybody else talk, so, I was trying to, finish my point there, but that's okay.
I'm sorry.